are you doing? Well, you just hanging out? You just doing a whole bunch of something, a whole bunch of nothing? Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, God, what is happening? Anywhere in the world, you could be doing anything you want, and you're over here hanging out with me? That's that's two banana sandwiches. Goodness gracious, what is going down, TikTok? I'm so stoked to see you. My feet are freezing. Okay, like I want to put socks on, but I also don't want to go through the hassle of putting socks on. It's okay, so it's like 111 here in Arizona, but in this room, my tootses, my frozen toesen. I kind of want to put them on, but I also really don't. It's my ADHD. That's really what it is. I'm sitting here and I'm going like, that sounds like it's too easy. It's got to be more complicated. Maybe I just enjoy being uncomfortable. Most of us do. Like, we don't want to admit it, but like part of us just goes like, I don't mind being uncomfortable because I can manage it. I'll just kick my feet. But that's complacency when we go like, it's okay. I can manage the pain. I can manage the annoyances. And then we just find ourselves in insanely annoying situations that we're just really good at managing. We don't even like it. We're just good at it. So it's too hot outside, ? I look like Pauly Shore. You know what's funny? I was in a grocery store 2 days ago, and this woman, I think her name's Tyler, she was telling me something about the frozen chicken, and then she's like, okay, Pauly Shore, did you know that I've been told I look just like Pauly Shore since I was a little girl? It was a Wednesday. I was 14. Nonstop. When I jumped on TikTok in 2019, my first viral video was people talking about Pauly Shore. You know who else thinks I look like Pauly Shore? Pauly Shore does. He's left me numerous comments. He found me on Facebook, found me on TikTok, and he's like, hey guys, he really does look like me. I put a ton of Pauly Shore TikTok content because I thought that's what y'all wanted. But it turns out that I have a little bit more experience as a health advocate than I do as an actor. Being a lookalike is just ridiculous. It's just basic similarities. I'm finally sober. This time it's different. Thank you. Oops, wrong button. Thank you for all the information for change. Hell yeah! Sober. You can't get more sober than sober. So if you're sober, you're fucking sober. It's what you do with that sobriety. You've gifted yourself the opportunity to transform. If you keep doing the same stuff, you can probably expect the same results. So, I'm stoked that you're sober. You did it. You're not going to unlock anything more. You're not going to be more sober tomorrow or anything like that. You might feel a little bit better, but that doesn't mean you're sober. So, I want to hear about it. What are you doing? What do you do with your sobriety? It's literally like you've been awarded a new position in life. So many of us, we stress ourselves out. I wonder if I'm going to get that job. I wonder if I'm going to get that thing. And then we stress, thinking that if we stress hard enough, the payoff is going to be better. Well, we earned it technically with the amount of anguish we caused ourselves. And now you have the results. Now you have the job. Now you have the trophy. What are you doing with it? If you just do the same things, then you can expect the same results. That's the trip. So now that you've earned 100%, you went through the struggle, you first off gave yourself permission, realize that you're worth it, recognize that you are a human being, you're not the special one that can't get sober. You're just as magical and powerful and fragile as every other human on the planet. And then you put in the work, and now you've reached a place of sobriety. What's really cool, which is why we talk about beyond sober, which is where most of us are, sobriety is something that you're doing. Sobriety is like sober is a destination. Sobriety is a practice. Sober is a destination. You've reached it. You got there. Sober is a destination. Sobriety is what you're doing between drinks. You may never drink again, or you may be, interested in consuming casually. Pauly Shore, what's up? You're not the first one to say that today. So we got to look at this and go like, okay, well, you got it. You did it. You're 100%. You can't get another trophy. 30 days means nothing. What are you doing with the 26 days? That's the reality with all this stuff. I haven't had a drink since July 11th, 2017. And what I've done since then is the reason why I'll never have a drink again. I'm not special. I've worked through my sobriety. Sobriety is no longer an accomplishment. I'm not sober. I don't identify as any of that shit. If anything, I'm an ex-alcoholic. How do you become an ex? If you're not drinking, you're not addicted, and you're not emotionally involved with alcohol, you're doing pretty good. But if you identify as an alcoholic, even though you don't have a problem with alcohol, you're limiting the scope of which you will expand. We don't want to do that shit. 2010? Fuck yeah. It says specifically in the big book to help other alcoholics, and it helps you stay sober. That's awesome. That is a beautiful thing. The big book is it's a paperweight. If the big book works for you, which is the book from AA, then hell yeah, dude, spin that shit on your finger, dude, and preach whatever. The sad part about preaching from a book is it comes off pretty goddamn religious and culty. So if you're using the information within that book, whether it's religious or whether it's just AA stuff, to improve the quality of lives of others without forcing them to adopt new behaviors outside their character, then you got my full support. But if you're preaching and pressing and forcing and manipulating and attempting to convince others that they are weak without the big book, you're the problem. You're probably the reason why other people drink. I'm not attacking you personally. I'm just saying this shit. The truth is that happy people, successful, like healthy people, want to see other people happy and successful. They can present ideas. They can present observations, perspectives. The entire book is a perspective. It suggests, the entire book, everything in that book was suggested 86 years ago. There's been a lot of developments, not only in the human psyche, but with social media, with human, AA is like a religion, 100%, 100%. And that's the shitty part about religions. The concept, it's a big club. And if you're not the right person, it's not for you. And the trippy part is that so many people, more people go to AA not because they're an alcoholic, but because they're forced to. It's court ordered. It's suggested. Everybody wants everyone to go to AA because they think that's the only fucking option. Well, the more people that go to AA, the more people realize that it's not for them. So I bring this up. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual. But if there's actual graphs out there that are indicating and showing 100% analytically that more and more and more people are finding sustainability within themselves instead of religious practices. The church and all these things are actively crumbling because of the realities that are unfolding from the minds of healthy people. You're the reason anything works. Oh shit, that one chick from TikTok. You know who I'm talking about? That one chick? Okay, cool. What's up, girl? But every time I have a drink, I black out. Your blackouts only happen when you drink too much. So look, if you have one drink and you black out, you've had too much alcohol. If you have 25 drinks and you black out, you've also had too much alcohol. That doesn't happen. You're not supposed to happen. You just got to think about this. Tyler, what's up, man? You got to think about this. If alcohol made you black out, we would stop. I'm sorry, if water made you black out, we would stop drinking it. Or we would find new ways to consume it. If we needed it to live and we blacked out every time we drink water, we would find new ways to drink water. But alcohol is a poison, so it makes absolute sense why you would black out. Hangovers. What else? Drunk? Hangovers? Drunk? Blackouts? That's all the repercussions of having too much alcohol. That's just what it is. You drink too much poison, you get poisonous results. That's what it is. Blackouts happen when you take meds too. That is very, very, very true. That's a different type. I know less about that because I drank more alcohol than I did anything else. So medication, I don't have too much to say on that. I do know a lot of people who have died from medications, overdoing anything, too much. Hey, Lynn, if you need help, I need you to click that link in my bio, connect with me, leave me a message, and I'll get back to you. Water break. If you don't have your water, you better get that shit. It's the nectar of life, man. It's the elixir of survivors. If we haven't followed each other, feel free to follow me. Feel free to share this. Your participation is not necessary. What I do like to bring up, though, is your interactions could save a life. You have no idea that your thumbs could literally push this to the FYP. It could reach the right person, and that person could go, this is exactly what I needed to hear today. So if I'm saying something that speaks to your soul, that is making you grin, or if you find yourself on the other side of your phone going, yeah, if you do this, if your head is nodding, either double click this screen, feel free to share it out or anything like that, or even just leave a comment. I did need this today. Fuck yeah, something was calling me. I meditated earlier and it's like, dude, go live, man, share this. I don't necessarily have anything specific to say, so I'm thinking out loud, and thank you for being here, because you're giving me a place to master what I know and feel deeper about my understandings of self and my life. And who knows, man, maybe I share a unique perspective that's speaking to you directly. The point of going live, the point of being here, the point of creating a space for us all to grow is because I want to see you win more than the world wants to see me lose. This is the truth. You want to see you win more than anybody else wants to see you lose. Fuck them. Keep growing. Does your liver hurt? My liver doesn't hurt. I do have stage 4 cirrhosis, which is what happens when you drink too much alcohol for too long. Most people that drink at high risk, which is 4 drinks or more a day, is going to develop some form of cirrhosis. So we're doing damage because it is a poison, whether we like it or not. Some damage you're going to get. Think of it like tread on the tires. Okay, think about this. I've never said this before. Brand new. This is why we think out loud. Think about tread on your tires. Okay, you need help logging in? Got it. All your information was sent to the email that you used to unlock the program. If your temporary password isn't working, you just got to reach out to me and I can send it back to you. So I want you to think about your liver, your health, like tread on the tires of your vehicle. So if you don't know what tread is, tread is like the outside layer of your tires. The more rigid it is, the more traction you have. Okay? So with that same concept in mind, if there's no damage on your tires, your liver, then you're gonna grip to the road. It doesn't matter what the snow brings. It doesn't matter if there's nails on the freeway. It doesn't matter about these things because you've got tread. As we drink the poison, think of it like acid on your tires. We're actively disintegrating the tread on our tires. While you're driving, you probably will not even notice that your tread is disintegrating, that you're losing traction. What are the times that you realize that you've lost traction on your tires? Is when you start sliding around. It starts to rain, starts to get a little rocky, right? It's sliding. Maybe it could be anywhere. You're starting to like, why am I not picking up speed? Why is this happening? Why are the tires slipping? Why is my side hurting? Why am I getting so tired? Why can't I sleep anymore? Why am I more depressed? Why is my anxiety spiking? That's what happens when the tread on your tires or your liver starts to basically develop some type of damage. That's an indicator that we've been treading, we've been driving this vehicle erratically for way too long. So if you're just driving straight down the road, right, which would be like 4 drinks or less a day, if I'm saying this correctly, then obviously you're not gonna like 200 days, fuck yeah! Obviously the tread on your tires is gonna last a lot longer because you're not driving erratically. But if we're drinking more than that, we're just sitting here going, right? There's a little shave off the left-hand side. There's a little shave off the right-hand side. So we're doing damage to the tires. Those tires, we don't have 4 livers. We have 1. So we want to really, really pay attention to this. I don't want you guys to quit drinking alcohol. Like, if you want to drink that shit, drink that shit. You're going to drink it regardless of anything I say. But if you are going to drink, I want you to like literally drink responsibly. And if we're drinking irresponsibly, let's practice drinking less alcohol till we're actively driving straight again. That's the point. BZ Fierce in the building. What's up? What a joke. Money hungry. Are you not hungry for money? As a matter of fact, all of your money is going to your misery. The reason why you even say that is because you've invested so much in your poor mental health that you think I'm money hungry. motherfucker. You know shit about fuck, and I think it's beautiful. Had 6 months sober and started drinking again, and my tolerance is higher. How? Hang on. Had 6 months sober, started drinking again, and my tolerance is higher. How? It is a possibility that your metabolism has gotten weaker. Your system has gotten weaker. I'm trying to explain why you may have a higher tolerance after drinking less alcohol. You got to remember this. Your machine operates together, okay? Just not drinking alcohol does not mean your tolerance is going to go down. Not at all. That's a trippy thing. We think that if we don't drink alcohol for a while, it's guaranteed that our tolerance will go down. This is not true most of the time. Sometimes, just like this, our tolerance goes up. Our ability to handle, our ability to focus. What I'm saying with this is there is a point where your body learns how to metabolize and operate with high levels of alcohol to where it seems you're doing the same amount of damage, but it seems like you could actually drink more alcohol. Another way of saying this is if you want your body to expect getting buzzed off less, you have to train it to do that. If you're drinking 10 beers a day, that's your typical daily intake, and then you stop drinking entirely, your body has had zero time to adjust to the intake. It just now knows how to operate without alcohol. When you or if you decide to drink again, your body goes, we have 10, right? 10 is, okay. It knows how to metabolize 10 beers. This is why if we don't train our system, actively practice drinking less, giving our body permission to, we'll say, operate while expecting less, then when you go back, the chances of you going right back down the rabbit hole are so much higher. This is where we fear the pink cloud, okay? This is why people go, oh shit, dude, like I feel so good. I think I cured my issue. I think I cured it. I think I'm fine now. Dude, you went 60 days. You don't have a problem with alcohol, but that doesn't mean there isn't a problem with the way you drink. Does that make sense? Say that again if you can, 100%. I'll reiterate this in just a second. Just because you've reached 60 days, 200 days, you don't have a problem with alcohol. If you decide to drink, you may have a problem with the way you drink. Get it? Got it? Okay? This is why so many people go like, I'm still an alcoholic. You're not an alcoholic because of the way you drink. You're an alcoholic if you're physically fucking addicted to the shit. Physically addicted. How many people here are physically addicted? You need it. Without it, we've got problems, okay? Most of us here aren't physically addicted. That includes myself. That's why I'm not an alcoholic. I'm an ex-alcoholic. I will never have alcohol again unless it's on accident. Trust me. 2 drinks, a green Truly and a green Bing, you better bet I'm examining these things. They look very similar, but I double check that shit, okay? Move, so banjo, or what is that? Banjo doc? Cool, all right, cool. So that's great. You know where your body is. So with this said, with that absolute understanding, if you're not physically addicted and you're not emotionally dependent on alcohol, both of those things, there's no reason to call yourself an alcoholic. That does not mean you're not practicing alcoholic behavior. You could drink like an alcoholic, but you're only 1 drink away of becoming dependent. You could drink like an alcoholic all you want, but you're only 1 drink away of becoming dependent. All it takes is 1 stupid TikTok to trigger something you've been drinking away. And then you're like, fucking hate that Pauly Shore looking mother. Right? Drink. Now you've triggered your dependency, right? We're always 1 drink away. So going back to what I was saying earlier about tolerance and whatnot, just because you stop drinking, that doesn't guarantee your tolerance is going to go down. If you don't practice consuming less alcohol, this is what the single shot method is all about. Singleshotmethod.com, click the link in my bio and I'll send it all over to you. When your body expects less, it will learn to process less, right? But if we just stop drinking, Our body is expecting 10 drinks or whatever it was that you left off as. This is why one of the most powerful phrases I've ever learned, I typed it today, is it's only as good as your last drink. I learned that in AA, okay? 6 years ago, 5 years ago, okay? It's only as good as your last drink. So if your last drink was 11, yeah, 11 drinks or 12 margaritas or whatever it was, you could expect, even if you haven't drank in months and years, expect that. Expect that. It's only as good as your last drink. Your next drink is only as good as your last drink. My last drink, I was bright yellow and throwing up blood. Okay? I'll never drink just from that phrase. Okay? I'm very aware with this shit. But think of it like this. If you practice drinking less alcohol, hey, Trina Bell's in the building. Oh shit, what's up, girl? So stoked to see you. I see you looking healthy. I see you flashing that belly train, talking about views and shit. I see you. So that makes sense. I learned that in DWI class. There we go. So I love that. So I want you to think about this. Trina, you know this too. It's only as good as your last drink. Holy shit. Okay, so I want you to remember this. If you practice consuming less alcohol, sober 15 years, hell yes, I love it. If you practice drinking less, let's just say I was drinking 30 shots a day, 30 to 45, okay? 2 bottles of liquor a day. That's not difficult when you have a high tolerance. It's just not. It's just not, okay? If I was drinking 30 and then I got down to 2 and then I stopped drinking, my body is expecting 2 shots. If I ever decided to drink, it would stop at 2 shots. That would be the neurological programming. That means does my girlfriend drink? She does drink, but she drinks like once a month, maybe, glass of wine. I think she had a Truly the other day. Oh my God, Sam, 25 to 30. Yeah, dude, just a little meal. So you look, that's 2/5, right? That's just a regular bottle, right? That's 15, 16 shots, depending on the bottle or whatever. I think it's like sometimes 17 or whatever. So you're looking at 2/5. That's 2 bottles of liquor. That's 30 mixed drinks or 15 double drinks. So if you were to have so what I'm saying? That's a 30 case of beer. Like, it's really not. Now I do 4 shots to 10. Okay, I got you. That's amazing. Now, do you understand? You see how that works? Nice tea, thank you. Do you see how that works? So you were doing 30 shots and now your body goes, okay, we're doing 4 to 10. You're still drinking. You're still getting a buzz. You're still processing. It's just you're not overdoing it. Overdoing it. All right? A lot of people go like, "Yeah, well you just took it." What did he say? He's like, "You just went out of control. You just took it to the next limit. You just took it to the next level." You gotta understand this, man. Like, no one goes, "I want to drink 30 shots. I want to drink fucking 2 bottles." Nobody does that intentionally, because we all know that in order to be good at drinking 30 shots, do you know how many times you have to be obliterated? You have to black out at 10 drinks. You have to black out at 5 drinks. Then you have to black out at 7 drinks. Then you have to black out at 9 drinks. Then 11. Then 15. You gotta understand that, do you know how many times you've gotten drunk, blacked out, felt like shit? You have to do the damage until it becomes a basic dependency. So people don't just go like, "Oh, I'm just going to start with 30 shots. Yeah, bro, you took it." No, I was taken to the next level by a poison. That's the point of the poison. It wants you to want it. It's powerless without us, but once it's in us and it becomes a dependency, it takes us for a ride, man. We're on the ride. We're the one in the driver's seat until we're being driven. That's the shitty part about alcohol. That doesn't mean I'm trying to scare people away from this shit, because you're going to drink regardless. But the reality is, if you're going to drink, practice drinking less. Every person on the planet, every alcoholic, every single person that uses alcohol, hear me, I see you. What's up, Melissa Bella? How you doing, girl? Every single person wishes that they could get a buzz off 1, that they could get drunk off 3. And this is a good reference for like Brienne, right? So she'll have a glass of wine The other day she hit me up. She's like, I had a sip of someone's wine and I was buzzed. Damn, girl. That's amazing. She had a sip of someone else's wine that was offered to her because she was on, what was it, like a buzz tour, like the buzz bikes or whatever that is. She was invited. Someone's like, hey, you want to try this? She wasn't intending on drinking at all. She had a sip and then she already felt bubbly, already felt light. Goodness gracious. 2,861 days. Holy shit. Hang on. Hey, Echo. What is 2,861 times 100?
2,861 times 100 is 286,100.
Yeah, just making sure. $286,100 in sober bucks you've earned. So I want you to remember this.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
You're good. This is why I want everybody to look at their sobriety, because it's so many people. Did your right side ever hurt? My right side hurts right now, but not because of alcohol. If it did hurt when I was drinking, I just drank through the pain. That's the problem. Alcohol is the solution to all your pains, emotional or physical, right? So if you can't feel it, why would it get your attention, or why would you give your attention to it? So real quick, before I forget this, the reason why I asked Echo that question, which is an obvious thing, that number times 100 is just that 100,000. I've convinced myself that I'm bad at math, and I'm not. That's a limiting belief that I continue to say. Where I'm going with this is, I want anybody that's struggling with their sobriety, okay? Oh, shit, joyfully, Jamie. What's up, girl? Oh, Jamie, you just hit 1 year. This is a perfect thing, right? So if that's 365 days, so, okay, let's add this. Now I'm thinking out loud. My ADHD is getting the best of me. So I want you to think about this. If I gave you $100 for every single day you didn't drink, how much money in sobriety would you have right now? Think about this, okay? Feel free to answer. So calculate your days and then multiply it by 100. So 360, what was it, 65 days times 100? Isn't that 3,650? 365 times 100, 3,650. That's how much money you would have made. No, that's 36. Yeah. Someone tell me, what do I need it? So you guys know what I'm saying. $1,800. Holy shit. Grief is a punk. Yeah, it is. 365, $39,500 in sobriety. That's amazing. I'm rich. Yeah, you are. And a boss. Now you're not just rich, boss. You're rich and a boss. 1,200. Dude, that's absolutely phenomenal. So I want you to remember this. 365,000. Is it 365,000? It would be, because it would be 100 times 30 is 3,000. 369, 12. 12,000? It's 12,500, right? Yeah, you're right. Okay, I'm tripping. Thank you for helping me on this one. So I want you to think about this. But for every day you decide to drink, you're going to give me $100. Sober Sally. $36,000. Okay, so I want you to really think about this, man. So you made $36,000 in sobriety, okay? Now, if you decide to drink right now, you owe me $100. Now, granted, your personal ego and all that stuff may be like, knocked sideways. It may feel like you ain't worth shit, but you've already earned $36,500 in sobriety, or whatever, $36,000, okay? If you decided to drink, you owe me $100. So many of us are conditioned to go, you know what? Here's all of my $36,000 that I earned. It's fucking bank. Here's my $36,000 of sobriety because of one night. So that's the factor that makes us want to go back down the rabbit hole. We sit and think that we've lost all of what we've earned because of one night, man. That's like saying you've lost your house because the hurricane blew the fence off. You still have a house. You still have a home. All of these things. People drink because of ego, 100%. A lot of people don't want to accept the fact that they are human, they are fragile. People want to drink through their ego. Sober Uncle Sally. People want to use their ego as an excuse. They want to use, which is like pride. A lot of people think that they're better at drinking alcohol than others. They don't want to accept the fact that they're equally fragile as every other human being on the planet. They don't want to accept the fact that alcohol is a literal poison. It's designed to hurt you. You could set it on fire. How many things do we consume Wrong. Prove it. I love opinions. I think opinions are stupid, by the way. Facts over feelings. How you feel about what I say doesn't change the fact that what I'm saying is fact. What was your rock bottom? I died. I was bright yellow, throwing up blood. I ended up in 4 hospitals. I died from cardiac arrest, surviving liver failure in 2017. My rock bottom before death was on my knees in the kitchen begging for someone to pour alcohol down my throat because I could not stop shaking. I didn't accept the fact that I was I knew I was an alcoholic, but I didn't accept the fact that thoroughly until I could not stop shaking and I had no alcohol. That was the scariest moment of my life. Varices, yes, esophageal varices. So if you guys are unfamiliar with what that is, a lot of us who have or drink in an unhealthy way, we might throw up. We might have a lot of drinks. We might have carbonation that roughens our throat. It's damaging our throat. Alcohol has like acids and shit in it. You could set it on fire. It will ruin the lining of your throat, okay? Some of us end up throwing up blood. I can't even tell you how many times since I've been on TikTok, someone has been on my in my inbox saying, dude, I'm throwing up blood. What's happening? Bro, you've developed esophageal varices. It's when the veins in your throat are bleeding. They bleed into your throat. Into your stomach. Sometimes it's very, very subtle, minimal amounts, right? And sometimes you won't even know it. Then it's very obvious, like in my condition, where my entire stomach was filled with alcohol and the blood from the veins that opened up. Portal hypertension as well, 100%. So the trip with that is I had gotten sick from the amount of blood that I was basically swallowing in my sleep. So my entire stomach was just full of that. And I got really woozy and I felt drunk for the first time in years. And that's when I got up and was like just so out of it and started throwing up blood, just straight blood. It was super, super scary. That's when they called 911. And that's when I realized that my liver was failing. It was, I have no idea how long my liver was going before that moment. It's once I got there and they got me stable after surgery, that's when they're like, dude, his liver is done. Like, there's no coming back from this type of shit. It was crazy, right? How long did it take for me to do that? I drank for 24 years, started drinking alcohol at 8 years old. My first beer was a Pabst Blue Ribbon in Mexico by my father. And then that casually and then excessively partied, you know, in the 90s and 2000s and 2010s. But then started drinking at high risk, which is the way most people drink here on TikTok. That's beer pong. That is all the fun games. That is the house parties. Then I was a DJ, and so I went to all the clubs and all the events and the raves and the rooftop parties and the pool parties. Drank at high risk before developing alcoholism. Just drinking to fit in, drinking because of my social anxiety. And then once my mental health and my physical health depleted so much because of the amount of alcohol I was drinking, then I became dependent on alcohol just to function. I was incredibly depressed. I was taking about a shot or 2 shots per hour. I was in bed for 12 to 15 hours a day, deep state of depression, still drinking, all by myself, completely isolating, locking the doors, closing the windows, torturing myself, tears, the overweight, couldn't eat, incredibly fucking miserable, dude. And it was all what I was doing to myself. And I wanted to use alcohol as an escape, even though I refused to accept that it was the reason why I felt like that. I've been drinking for about 4 years straight every day. Got you. So I don't want you to go like, oh, well, I have, 12 years before I develop a problem. People nowadays reach the level like 30 shots. And let me say this first. Most people are going to die by drinking less alcohol than me. This is very important. Most people that struggle with alcoholism die from drinking less than what I did. If somebody makes it as far as I did, right? They don't live past the first year. Alcohol is poison. People don't die from alcohol. They die from organ failure. Their machine fails to operate accordingly. Your body gives out, your liver, the one thing that everything goes through. Not everything goes through your heart. Not everything goes through your lungs. What you think, what you eat, what you drink goes through your liver. It's the filter of your body. You got to remember how important that thing is. And then when we just put poison in it, you got to remember it's going to prioritize getting the poison out far before it's going to start focusing on your health, right? It's so sick, right? Hey, bro, what's up, Brighton? Brighton 2008. Were you born in 2008, dude? So check this out. I drank at I was a high functioning alcoholic for 2.5 years. So I'll go through some of these like symptoms to see like how dependent we are here. Hang on. I drink between 6 to 12 beers on a Friday and Saturday. When should I become worried? When it becomes 4 beers every day. When you're drinking alcohol every single day, that's when we're starting to go into one of these two categories, okay? So just a little meal, right? I'm going to ask some questions here, and I'm going to start describing a physical dependency on alcohol, okay? So you feel free, if this starts to resonate with you, feel free to leave a comment. Nobody's judging here. This is a safe, healthy community. We're all here to support each other. You don't have to call yourself an alcoholic. You don't have to be scared. It's just a level of evaluation, okay? And these are the things that I started to struggle with, where in retrospect, I started to realize my dependency. All right. I started needing alcohol to have an appetite. What that means is, if I wasn't drinking, I wouldn't eat. That also means 1 beer at dinner or lunch. And then it came down to breakfast too. Beer became my breakfast. I drink 4 Locos every day. Okay. So in order for you to have an appetite, for you to really be able to eat something, you have to numb the pains in your stomach, or you have to, we'll say, solidify your blood sugar levels, right? So you might be shaking because of low blood sugar. So for instance, I went into the kitchen today, there were people in there, my besties were in there, and I was like, dude, my blood sugar, I was having the same symptoms as withdrawals. I'm starting to shake because I haven't eaten since the morning and I didn't eat that much. Food is fuel. So remember this. If it's starting to get really difficult to eat food and you have to have alcohol either before, during, or after your food, you're starting to develop a physical dependency on alcohol. Recognizing this right now is when we start practicing drinking less, adding more water, feeling more full, doing these things. If we are needing alcohol to eat food, it is so important that we make appropriate food choices, okay? If you're gonna eat good food. If you're struggling to eat and you need alcohol to activate your appetite, make sure that you're making as healthy choices as you possibly can. That way your body's not gonna process the alcohol plus the shitty processed fast food crap and make your liver work even harder, okay? If you're starting to shake before you go to bed, you feel real nervous, a lot of anxiety is starting to spike, right? Before you go to sleep, you need a couple shots, you need a drink, you need a beer, you need a margarita, or the thought of alcohol is enough to get you to start calming down and get excited so you can basically sleep. We're starting to become dependent on a poison for us to rest, okay? That means that the hormones and the chemicals that are naturally released when we're trying to go to sleep aren't functioning properly anymore. That's because your body has gone, oh, we don't need these. We have alcohol, a poison, okay? So if you're starting to use alcohol to go to sleep, you need it to relax, basically. You're starting to get anxiety before you go to sleep, or you have anxiety when you wake up and you use alcohol to calm your nerves. All of that is your body creating a physical dependency, right? We want to make sure that we're drinking enough water, that we're eating decent foods, that our metabolism is running. How can I repress sad memories? Honest question. Don't. Memories aren't sad. That's just a reaction you have to them. It's the story you're telling yourself. You're not supposed to forget your memories. All of those are there for guys. So we'll talk about that in just a second. So if alcohol is a part of your diet, what that means is you're going out, you're going to have drinks, right? Friends are coming over, you're not going to hang out with them without drinks. You're excited to do something, but you need to have a drink first. That's starting to develop a physical dependency on this shit. Some people go like, oh, well, I'm not shaking yet, so I'm okay. You got to remember this. Your body going into shock is the extreme result. Most of us wait for that before we start caring. And you know what the answer to that is, which is when you have a physical dependency, is when a shot, a beer, a drink, a mimosa is enough to get you to chill out, okay? When I went to the doctors, you know what the first thing they did was? The first thing they did, I'd go sit there. I was there every single week for months. They're like, show me your hands. I put my hands out, and they would look. They're like, okay, you're doing good. The first obvious physical symptom is shaking. Trust me, it is not the caffeine from the Red Bull. It is not the sugar from the drinks you had last night. Your body is expecting alcohol, expecting fuel. Alcohol, food, and water, and air, those are the things we need to live. When we start replacing our natural fuel sources, food and water, with alcohol, our body learns to adapt to that and starts expecting it. Just like an engine in the car, if you're running low on fuel, you start to stutter. That's your machine. This is your vehicle. Same thing, right? Same thing. How long do you need to stop clean it out of your system? 4 days. I was able to feel safe listening to you. Dude, that's so awesome, dude. We need to drink to settle issues. Gotcha, we're getting there. I have club fingers from drinking. Yeah. If not, losing my job and not my mom time. I'm with you, Melissa. Did I have kidney issues? Yes. Lower back, that's another thing. These are good. So if your lower right side is starting to hurt, that's your liver, right? Generally, LRQ, lower right quadrant, that's your liver. There's a lot of people that are going to go, your liver doesn't have any pain receptors. Shut the front door. If the right side of your body, which is where your liver is, it takes up a majority of your right side. If it's starting to hurt, your liver's working too hard, okay? If you're starting to turn yellow, right? You guys have seen my pictures. 5 years, hell yeah! If you're starting to turn yellow, your eyes are looking yellow, skin's looking yellow, right? Obviously, your liver's working too hard. You've created a dependency, right? So, aside from the typical standard physical symptoms, let's talk about the emotional dependency on alcohol. Okay, the obvious things, liver enlargement, 100%. Mine ended up the size of a football. Not only did I have ascites, right? Here's another thing, right? Swelling in the throat, swelling in the wrists, swelling in the ankles, swelling in the abdomen, the stomach, ascites, you're retaining fluid. Remember, alcohol is a poison, dude. You have random pains? Probably the alcohol. Probably an injury that you caused when you were faded. Here, I digress, okay? Let's talk about emotional dependencies real quick. Because when I think about emotional dependencies, I depend on myself now. I look inward. I process. Thank you so much for love. When I was struggling with alcohol, I put this video out today. I had a bad thought. Excuse me. My phone was at low battery. I got time though. If I had a bad thought or I had a bad feeling or something that I perceived to be wrong, that's nothing a shot couldn't handle, right? It was easy for me to take a drink and forget about it because if it's gone, it doesn't have my attention, which means I'm not physically or emotionally affected by it. This is an emotional dependency on this shit. When you think about yourself, it's easier to think about yourself, think about your past, and think about your future with alcohol in your system. That means we've learned to process under the influence. Aside from a physical dependency. Edema? I don't think I got edema. I'm anemic though. We're basically learning to accept the fact, hey, Brinks, thank you so much. We're learning to accept who we are, what we're doing, and where we're going only under the lens of alcohol. That means when we're inebriated, when there's alcohol in our system, everything's okay. Or it's not as bad as it really is. If thinking about your own emotions and processing your own feelings is easier when you're drinking, that's an emotional dependency. If you find it easier to listen to your parents, listen to your friends, listen to social media, listen to the news when you're drinking, that's an emotional dependency. It means we're having trouble looking at other people's emotions objectively. What that means also is it's hard for me to explain myself to you without you feeling my feelings and feeling like you need to escape my emotions. Does that make sense? So I show up and I'm like, I had this horrible conversation today and this, that, and the other. And as I'm saying that to you, you're going, whoa, hang on. Because what I'm saying is triggering. What I'm saying is bringing up emotions in you. And those aren't the ones that you want to handle. But you can listen to me if you're drinking because you can't feel those feelings. You can ignore that. So if it's easier for you to process the emotions of others or the outside bullshit, I don't know Greg Beck, then that's an emotional dependency. If you could find yourself in social situations, but only if you're drinking, that's an emotional dependency. Because what's happening is hey, what's up, Tomb Raider? What's happening with this is our social anxiety or our standard anxiety spikes in groups of people, spikes in the outside world. And the only way that we could really get involved and feel comfortable is if we numb the anxiety. That's an emotional dependency, okay? Now, those are just some like basic things. He's a stop drinking expert? Hell yeah, dude. So it basically comes down to, if it's easier to process the world under the lens of alcohol, that's a dependency, okay? And what happens with that, and the reason why that's so easy, is because we haven't practiced accepting the world for what it is, so we punish ourselves for what it's not. I wish people weren't getting hurt. My boy, what's up, Dawson? Hey, Dawson saw me just like examining the clouds today. I posted a picture, bro. Dawson's in the building. You guys want to follow Dawson? Such a cool cat, man. He's a gym cat. He's gorgeous, by the way. If you guys want some thirst trap goodness on your FYP, you want to follow Dawson. But here's what's funny, and this is all going into emotion, because I was walking and like numerous people stopped me and they're like, "You're the Northern Ninja. I know you. I've seen you. Dude, we've been wanting to say hi, like all this shit." Ah, fuck yeah, Dawson. Thank you, brother. Speaking of galaxies, hell yeah. I was walking up to the gym and I had this like beautiful experience all by myself, walking like I do. And this spot opened up in the clouds, man. And Dawson, I didn't even know he was there, dude. Like, I'm just sitting here. I look so weird. I'm just like looking up and my neck is starting to hurt, dude. I'm like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. And I have my glasses on. My glasses are polarized. So what Dawson doesn't know is that I'm looking at a rainbow that he can't even see it. He has no, thank you, brother. He can't even see it. Like you get, I'm looking directly at the sun, but there's a ring and a rainbow and there's highlights, and I'm like blown away, dude. Just taking in the clouds. I'm just like Dawson, you didn't catch the tears. They were behind the glasses, bro. But I was so just taken back by how absolutely beautiful not just life is, but those clouds, man. It's like I was having a conversation, and then I turn around and Dawson's showing up all sexy. I'm like, oh shit, you caught me, bro. We walk in together, and that's the whole thing is. And I was telling him, I was like, look, dude, everything after this moment is just bonus. It's just a bonus, okay? I'm going to go into the gym. I'm going to do some crazy backflips and some weird stuff. Dawson, I learned some new stuff in the gym today too, bro. I learned front flips and some other really cool things based on that energy, dude. I gave myself permission to feel successful. Hey, Kron, what's up? So just taking that energy in and just being like, God damn, it feels good to be alive. I love being alive. I took that energy in. I shared it with Dawson. I shared it with everybody that I met. Homegirl Natalie was stretching. I was like, dude, you got to look at the clouds. Like, and I was telling Dawson, I was like, bro, happiness looks weird to unhealthy people. But Dawson's showing up with a smile. He's a healthy cat. He's looking at me going like, look at Kohdi doing what a Kohdi do. That's totally expected from me. But other people, sometimes you see people doing this stuff that's an expression of their happiness, right? Which is what people do when they drink, right? Getting wild. And we go like, damn, what's wrong with that person? There's been so many fucking times when we look at someone and go like, they gotta be on something. They gotta be on something. That guy looks like a crackhead. Happiness looks like crackhead shit. You're like, damn, that dude's running down the street in a tutu. Like, it's not even Pride Month. It's just, he's just having fun. She's just doing whatever. Just build this. It doesn't matter. But to those that struggle to see and experience happiness, look at that and go like, that's wrong. That's bad. That's inappropriate. That's out. No, we don't do that. You're causing a ruckus. You need to tone it down a notch and meet us where we're miserable. No, that's where most people are. So I say this as an example as Dawson's here to obviously verify this information, to go like, dude, don't adjust your behavior because people like Dawson are giving you attention. Bro, you could watch me watch the clouds. I have no idea how long you were watching me watch the clouds, but I'm chilling. And I'm like, God damn. So my point is to do what literally contributes to your state of happiness. 4 months sober today. Fuck yeah. You and I are the equal amount of sober. No more puking blood, living life happy. 64. God damn it. What did I say about puking blood, y'all? Oh my goodness. It happens. It happens. Not often. It happens to those that have been consuming too much for too long. Physical damage, right? We could be in the gym all day long. We could be doing all this stuff. But if we continue to go home and just poison our machine, there's no point. Because we're miserable, right? So I say all of this as the polarization to not being dependent on a poison, not being dependent on alcohol, not being dependent on a person, right? It could be our significant other. It could be a friend of ours. Imagine if the only time I'm happy is when Dawson's in the building. I have no purpose. There he is. Now I can do stuff. That means I've created a codependency. That means I have an emotional entanglement with Dawson arriving. It means I'm not giving myself permission to be happy unless Dawson's in the building, unless Jack Daniels is in my hands. I was gonna say Jack Johnson. Unless Jack Johnson's in my hands. That's the reality with all of these things, is we want to give ourselves permission to express ourselves. My emotional dependency now is on me, right? It's on me. I'm the reason I'm happy. You're the reason you're happy. It's a process. I'm feeling way better. Dude, C-Doc, fuck yes, bro. You are the process. C-Doc, so I want you to think about this. It's not like, you got to understand, the only reason the process exists is because you exist. You exist within the process. So if the process only exists because you're doing it, that means you are the process. You are the process. You are the reason it works. You are the reason you're getting results. You're not getting results because of these things. You are the results. Continue doing this shit. And then you find yourself in a place of outside practice. You practice doing things that are a reflection of who you want to be, the type of person that you really want to be. You don't want to be dependent on alcohol. You don't want to be dependent on people. You don't want to be dependent on the job. You don't want to be dependent on the environment. You want to be dependent on you. That means you got to do some independent shit and then get good at that. Nothing gets easier, brother. C-Dog, remember this, dude. It's not getting easier. You're getting better. Nothing gets easier. You're getting better. That's the truth. That's the point. Everybody here is getting better. We're in the process of healing. We're always going to be healing. That's why you could be anywhere in the world and you decide to hang out with me. That's a reflection of your growth. And more importantly, it's a reflection of what's actually speaking to you. You inspire me. Dude, you allow yourself to be inspired by me. Take credit for that shit. Another way of saying this is I choose to be inspired by this guy. I see what he's done. I see what he's doing. I like that shit. I choose to be inspired by that shit. Own that. Because remember this, I'm not inspiring. I just say a bunch of words. At what point do I become inspiring? It's when you choose to see me as inspiring. I'm not inspiring. It's your fault why you're inspired. I can't say anything specific, and then people go like, you know what, he's inspiring. No, if you don't want to learn, you don't want to grow, I'm not inspiring. It's your fault why I'm inspiring. We want to take credit for that shit. Who do you want to be inspired by? What do you want to be inspired with? Do you want to be inspired by your own growth? Or do you want to be inspired by someone else's growth? Because the truth with this is, the only reason why you're inspired by me is because of how inspiring you are to yourself. If you didn't see potential in you, you wouldn't recognize the potential in me. Absolute facts. You are the inspiration you're seeking. You are the inspiration that you want, that you are obtaining. And how you show us, right? Show us how. Here's the thing, man. There's no one way to do anything. There's infinite ways to do everything. That's why my way is not the right way. It's only the right way if you choose to incorporate it your way. It's always your way. I've never considered that. I love your program. Hell yeah, dude. Was it just word up? Just word up? I tried. In the act of trying, you were doing. So you tried what? So you either tried and learned, or you tried and won. Either one of those are wins. You can't try and fail. You're just learning what doesn't work. You seriously put things into such true and honest perspective. Rachie, thank you so much. It's been a lot of practice. Keep in mind, you're seeing the result of a ton of practice. I've spent 5 years actively stepping further into the truths that define me as who I want to be, which puts me in a position to check myself when I'm acting outside my character, which is another way of saying I'm getting better at checking my ego, at checking my old programming, checking those old memories, which is why when you asked, how do you repress sad memories? I use those fucking memories every single day. Every day. It doesn't mean I'm sad. It means objectively they are sad. That's sad shit happened. Horrible shit happened. Gross shit happened. It happened. No matter what you feel about it, no matter what you think you're supposed to feel about it, it happened. It's just data now. It's just data. Did it happen? Cool. It happened. It holds the equal amount of weight as a car driving by. It's just a thought. Your thoughts don't have an emotion. You choose to feel a certain way about your thought. And most of the thoughts you have, you didn't choose to think. So now we're having an emotion against a thought that isn't even ours, and we think that it's our fault. So we identify as the problem. You go like, I'm the problem. I have a problem. I can't stop. I won't stop. Maybe if I stop drinking, all of the programming will just go away. That's not how that works. That's the beautiful part about life, is the recognition. It's the stepping into the awareness of your thoughts, stepping into the awareness of your feelings. It's okay to feel things. You're supposed to feel things. Bad things are supposed to happen to you. Otherwise, you become the bad thing that happens to someone else. Holy shit, someone write that down. Oh, I've never said that. At least I don't think so. I've never said that. But this is absolute fucking truth. And as I was saying that, I was thinking about rich kids. Bad things are supposed to happen to you. Or you become the bad thing that happens to other people. Bad things, things you don't like, things that torture you, things that feel like they'll never end, things that hurt, and there's no fucking words to describe them. Things that will traumatize you for a lifetime. Things that will literally scare you when you're a parent because you're so afraid of doing that to someone else. If you are not going through fucking pain, I saw that too, 111. If you're not going through the pain, if you haven't felt the fucking feelings, you become the reason others need to feel that shit. 100%. If you don't fix this shit, if you don't focus on becoming the solution, you actively act as the problem. Not even the problem to yourself, but to the problem to the people around you. You become the person that no one wants to deal with. I know exactly what that's like. I know 100%. I used to act like a narcissist. Fuck, I don't need people. Now I just don't want people around. I'm better at hanging out with me than I am hanging out with others. Absolute truth. But all of the reason why you guys can even find any amount of joy looking at my face and hearing what I have to say is not because I survived the trauma. Shit that I can't even talk about here on TikTok. Things that need to be reserved for a book and a movie. It's because I chose to grow through that. All of that happened so I could be who I want to be. Surviving it is one thing. We're all going to survive most of the 99. If you're not dead yet, you've survived everything. That means everything was meant for you to become stronger. But if we continue looking at all those things and go like, it's happening to me because I'm weak, I'm not stronger because I'm weak, then we continue finding reasons why that's true. I do have a book. It's called You Can Overcome Anything Despite the Barriers in Life, Volume 1. Hermit mode for the win. I'm telling you, man. You think there's a 98% of my life over the last 5 years in recovery has been by myself or feeling on my own. So I've been telling my son that, dude, 100%. Isn't that, it's trippy shit. So we got to look at these things and go like, okay, nothing's happening to us. In the moment, we go like, oh, this is happening to me. Okay, here's another example. Am I happening to you right now? Honest question. Volume 1. How many volumes? There are 7. Am I happening to you right now? Or am I happening for you right now? Honest questions. 2 or 4. See, dog? My little sis too. I feel you. So I'm happening to you, for you. Brandy, there we go. 4. Love it. Thank you for your responses. Okay, so there's 2 that are for 4, 1 that is 2. So I want you to really think about these things, okay? Everything, just like this, just like what I'm saying, I feel like you're speaking to me. Yes, I'm speaking to you. 100%, I'm speaking to you. But I'm happening for you. Understand? You are also happening for me. See, dog, you are not happening to me. You are putting in the same amount of energy leaving a comment as I am saying words. For. See, dog, you're happening for me. If you weren't happening for me, I might feel attacked. Even if I was attacked, that's a guide. That's for me to realize what I don't want. That's for me too. But the point with this is everything is happening for you. Even the things you don't like. So when you look at these things and go like, shit, I'm no longer a victim. Like things are going to happen whether I like it or not. Most things, almost all things are outside our control. Right? Makes sense for sure. Okay, perfect, dude. So talk to your son about that too, because that's a huge concept. Like when you jump into parenting mode, and when you jump into that space and you're having a difficult conversation, I want you to ask him, does it feel like, because keep in mind, what I'm saying here is equally traumatic as it is powerful, empowering. I could say some shit and you can get triggered. Who knows? The energy is the same. But when you bring that to his awareness, to your awareness, and you practice stepping into it, look, son, this conversation isn't, I'm not speaking to you. This conversation is for us, for you and I. You, son, me, father, us as people. This conversation is difficult, equally difficult for both of us. It is for us. This conversation isn't just to me, to you. It's for us. It's for all of us. From that standpoint, we're stepping into truth and authenticity. This removes the weight of feeling attacked, feeling defensive, or feeling like we have to literally defend what we say, right? Love your energy. So we look at this and go like, shit, man. All right, okay. I know it's difficult. I know it's rough. I know it hurts. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel fragile. It's okay to do these things. The best of men allow themselves to feel. Otherwise, we have toxic masculinity. Women must feel. Otherwise, we have toxic femininity, communication, conversation. The way I'm communicating with you, for us, is the same way I communicate with myself, for us, for me, myself, and I. If I'm by myself a majority of the time, then the conversation I'm having with me, not at me, must be productive. If I feel defensive Every time I'm talking myself down from something, I'm going to create an anxiety. That anxiety is going to prevent me from receiving the message that I really, really need, that I'm looking for, that I want. This is why we don't want to go and try and force ideas, force concepts. We can suggest things or implement tactics and stuff. But the reality is as long as we don't feel like we're a victim to the world, a victim to each other, then we're in a state of reception. Life is about comprehension. If we don't know what's happening or don't understand what's happening, then we fight it. This is why we burn things that we don't know. We disregard things that are good for us because we don't understand them. This is why we refuse to learn, because it's more difficult than sitting pretty. We have to get uncomfortable for a minute so we can learn to be comfortable. So the link in the bio. Yeah, so if you guys haven't shared your information with me, there's a link in my bio. It says beforesober.com. You can drop your information right there and I'll send over like the 150 key point master list, tell you a little bit about my story. What else do I send over? The 6-step recovery guide. And then I send over single shot method. Then I send over Beyond Sober 2.0. Obviously that's my masterclass. That's everything that I talk about. I'm not trying to sell you guys anything, but I do have stuff that you can invest in. Most people that are struggling want to invest in themselves, either financially, emotionally, or energetically. And I'm here to simply guide you guys in the right direction. So if you're struggling with alcohol, you need to practice drinking less. Single shot method, that link is in my bio as well. If you are ready to actively start pursuing a new mindset, one that's more expansive from where you are now, that's the Beyond Sober 2.0 masterclass. That's what I specialize in. Right? If you're simply looking for basic support, then I have the 150 key point. I'll shoot all that stuff over. My point with this is you could also leave me a message. So if there's something specifically you're struggling with, you can leave a message right there. And as soon as I find make a few minutes, I'll leave you a personal video message. I just want you guys to take care of yourself. I want you guys to have the tools, the resources, all that stuff. Whether you decide to work with me personally or any of my resources, take it, enjoy it. Share it. It's for you. When are you live? I'm live right now. What are you talking about? Great content as always. Thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate you. I'm a visual learner, loving the extra hand motions. Got you. Okay, so here's what we're doing, right? So what you want to do. I love visual learning. I have a ridiculous amount of ADHD. So a lot of people go like, I can't even tell you how many comments I've gotten to be like, look, okay, all the hand motions, tone it down, Pauly Shore. And then there's other people going like, if you don't move your hands, I can't hear you. Italian? I am Italian. Irish and Scottish. What do you think of Nexlotron? I think it's a tool, just like alcohol is. Remember this, a tool for a tool. Most tools don't need other tools. They work in association with other tools. But, where I'm going with this, and it's a big but, I cannot lie, is that alcohol is a tool. When we've used that tool incorrectly, we need to use another tool. That tool could help us either use the other tool correctly or not use that tool at all. If we use that tool incorrectly, then we're gonna need another tool to get off this tool. Do you see how this series of symptom and band-aids and all this shit are linked together? Nexlotron will help you not drink alcohol, but that doesn't mean you're a different person. Okay? You're the same person minus the alcohol. And if the person that you are has a problem with alcohol, not using the tool means that you're likely to go back. When we focus on our mental health, remember this, happy people don't consume drugs and alcohol like an addict, like an alcoholic, like a dependent. They don't, because they don't need it. They don't want it. When you step into the state of happiness, when you give yourself permission to practice happiness, then you don't need anything other than you. How you get there is your own path, but the tools remain the same. So if you're going to use Nexlotron to help you practice drinking less alcohol, which is going to get you to a state of sober, okay? Remember, sober is a destination, sobriety is a practice. If Nexlotron is going to help you get sober, then what's most important, and this is the same thing with Beyond Sober, the masterclass, single shot, I don't care. Once you get sober, and you will, it's what you do with your sobriety that determines whether or not you still have a dependency or you've developed the discipline to say yes. Listen to what I'm saying. So many programs, so many solutions are going to keep you focusing on the alcohol. Kistler, what's up? Keep you focusing on the alcohol. This is why counting the days is packed with subliminal anxiety. I'm only 4 days sober. I'm only 5 days sober. What? Right? I'm only 6 days sober. I'm only 7 days sober. I'm only 8 days sober. Only. We're still focused on the alcohol instead of what you're saying yes to, instead of how much water you're drinking, instead of how much progress you're making. We are focused on how little alcohol we're drinking. That means we're still connected. We're still practicing thinking about the alcohol. We're still focused on the problem instead of the solution. You are the solution. Water is the answer. Literally, it's the only thing that you need to survive aside from food, water, air. So my point with all of this is, you reach that place of sober, what now? Drink more water. Give yourself permission to sleep. Water. It's the nectar of life. It's the elixir of survivors. It's true. And it sucks that the reason why most of us don't like drinking is because we need it to fucking live. God damn it. This is why there's raspberry lemonade crystal light in this thing. Okay, I'm not going to lie. 96% of the time, it's just straight water. But I found a good deal on raspberry lemonade. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do this shit. All right? I'll get tired of this soon enough and I'll just go back to straight water. So with that said, when you become somebody that focuses on their progress, focuses on their success, focuses on their gains instead of their pains, write that down. When you become somebody, when you practice being someone that focuses on their gains instead of their pains, then that's where you become unstoppable. That's where you feel unstoppable. That's when you recognize the difference in your mindset. Yes, you may still feel the pain being thinking about alcohol. Who cares? Just because you're thinking about alcohol doesn't mean you're craving. Most of our cravings are going to be sugar anyway. We just have been getting our sugar intake from the alcohol. So when we crave sugar, when our blood sugar drops, our brain automatically goes, where was the last place I got the sugar from? Generally, it's going to be from the alcohol, from the beer, from the wine, from the whatever. So this is also why a lot of people, when they stop drinking, they start picking up fucking candy. 5 years later, I can't stop. I can stop. I just don't want to. I can stop anytime I want. I don't have a problem. I do have a problem. I had 6 zebra cakes, half a fucking gallon of ice cream yesterday. Now I'm eating, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's an issue, okay? It's all processing. Sugar is the problem. Sugar is a condition to a bigger problem. So, for example, one of the second most addictive substances in cigarettes is sugar. A lot of the coating of the wrapper. So the coating of the wrapper has sugar in it. So when people stop smoking cigarettes, they start eating a lot of candy. Not only does it satisfy this habit of doing this, but it's satisfying the sugar that you would normally be getting from smoking cigarettes. Whether it's hitting your lips or whether you're ingesting it or whatever it is. You can look it up. Super powerful stuff. Why are you eating it? I fucking love candy. You need sugar. I like it because I want to. Say no to sugar, okay? I love sugar. I gotta be real with it. Okay, look, all right. When I finish these, I'll stop. No, I know for a fact I'm never gonna stop having sugar. I need it to live. I'm gonna satisfy my sugar cravings. Otherwise, what happens is you end up binging later. It's interesting. Yeah, it's super crazy stuff, man. People are asking your questions, friend, and they're important. Got you. I got that one. So here's the thing is, I don't see any questions in the questions box. So because I don't see any questions in the questions box, there's no red dot that's indicating that there's something that I need to pay attention to. You got to remember this, as these questions continue scrolling, I have ADHD, so out of sight, out of mind. As soon as it disappears, it's gone forever unless something got my attention. What about wanting to head check like Buzz not eating sugar can do that? What about wanting the head check like Buzz not eating? I'm not sure what that means. I was so freaking healthy, though. My body was healthy, even though I was eating like crazy. You could eat a ton, man. We want to look at like what we're consuming. Okay? I eat a lot, right? But I'm also in the gym, 4 to 6 days a week. So I'm burning thousands and thousands of calories. But I'm also not in like a calorie deficit, and I'm not trying to lose weight. I'm actually gaining muscle. And I need food as fuel. So my intake and my regimen is different. So eating a pie, based on how healthy I am, it's not going to gain. I'm not going to gain like 4 pounds from eating one pie. I'm not going to gain a ton of weight. It doesn't mean it's a healthy decision to have excess sugar, right? I'm well aware that I don't need to have that much sugar. Actually, as a matter of fact, if I'm craving sugar, that's an indication that I'm low on protein, which is why I have all the chicken that I have, which is why I have all the beef and the turkey and all these things. I'm actively working out whether I have a habit of eating sugar, whether I have an addictive personality, whether I'm low on sugar, whatever it is. So I'm actively in that state. It could also be anxiety too. So as I stress my body out and as I reach new levels of success and as all these things happen, I could be stress eating and not being aware of that. So the point is becoming aware of yourself, right? Becoming aware of yourself, because if I use that as a coping mechanism instead of eating because I'm bored, now I'm practicing addictive behavior, which is the same exact behavior I had when I was drinking alcohol. So you notice how I said, like, I could stop anytime I want to? That's what I used to say when I was drinking. I could say, I don't have a problem. I can put that down. I used to say that same thing. This brings up, I'm thinking out loud. I was talking to the lead sobriety coach today, Sean. Okay, we were in the kitchen and I was making food. I was starting to shake because I hadn't eaten since the morning. And I'd also gone to the gym. My watch said I burned 1,000 calories, which isn't accurate. I'd walked 3 miles in the sun, totally depleted, and I needed food. I had waited too long to consume food, fuel, right? And so I started to shake. Same exact symptoms as having withdrawals from alcohol. But this is what he said today, and I'm going to start practicing saying it. I was just being funny with him, which is what we do. And he says, Kohdi, I don't have a problem with you lying to me. I have a problem with you lying to yourself. Fuck. You're right, bro. You're right. And I have that same issue. You guys can lie to me all you want. I don't care. What I do care about is how you're lying to yourself. If you're convincing yourself that you can't, or that you don't have an issue, or that you're the only one that can't get the results, that's where I have an issue. That's where the real problem is thinking that you're the only one with the fucking problem. Shiny Jets, what's up, dude? Hey, Shiny Jets. All right, you guys are going to want to follow this cat, okay? We met in San Diego. Bro, this dude was at the gym, killing it, man. And he met, and I was like, dude, I do TikTok, I do business, I do all this stuff. And he's like, dude, I do Shiny Jets. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. He's like, I polish fucking jets, dude. So good to see you, bro. And I'm like, I've never even heard of that. So he was telling me all about all these amazing things he does. And he's talking about, like, obviously making these private planes, like, look glorious. So, miss you too, brother. Dude, I haven't been to San Diego in over a year now, dude. It's been crazy, dude. But I hadn't seen you for like 6 months before that. Because you were blowing up. You're doing all kinds of stuff. And so I'm like, dude, what Shiny Jets? Take a look at his stuff, man. I know you may not be flying private anytime soon. You may not be on a plane anytime soon. But this dude has built his entire life around literally making jets look phenomenal. Hey, you know what, dude? You're the reason why all these planes in the sky get my attention. You're the reason why they literally fucking blind me, bro. I'm walking down the street and I'm like, ow. It's his fault. It's gotta be. It has to be. It's either that or a UFO. But no joke, his business is amazing. He's a super cool cat. He's taking care of himself, but he's more importantly taking care of his clients and his friends and family and all those cats. And he's growing here on TikTok. So you see Shiny Jets in the building. Definitely give this cat some love, dude. He's a cool cat making magic happen, man. And we vibe since day one. You're such an amazing person. I appreciate you. Let me see. Gifts. Can I join? Oh, that's not for me. With all that said, with all these things said, my point is this state of awareness, right? Is understanding you, man. Hang on. I want to stop drinking, but I'm scared of delirium DTs, but I don't have enough money for rehab. Got it. So my question to you, SDC, is how much alcohol are you consuming, and are you afraid because you're under the influence? I say this because this is such a big topic. I've released videos about this. Most people that fear withdrawals are under the influence, which means you're under the influence of an amplification unit. You're as high as the shiny jets while thinking about being as high as shiny jets. Do you get it? You're under the influence while thinking about a potential that most people aren't going to have to deal with. A hangover is generally the result of not drinking alcohol. If you've been drinking a lot, you're pretty familiar with a hangover. That's probably generally the extent of it. Now, if you were going down the road that I was taking 30 shots a day, man. I was taking 4 shots before I went running. I was taking 6, 7 shots before walking into the gym type shit. Not you, Shiny. This is way before that, right? But my point with this is, if we are looking at our symptoms and our potentials under the amplification unit of the thing we're attempting to consume less of, the chances of us creating unrealistic fears and anxiety is so much fucking greater, dude. Shiny, bro, I want you to remember this. You're not going to do measurements from the sky. You're trying to measure a building? You need to be on the ground. So if you're flying in the shiny ass jet, G, trying to go, that looks like 400 feet, motherfucker, you are so high. Literally. You're so high, you couldn't possibly take a legit measurement. I mean, if you got the right tools. Just the reflection of the wing is enough to fuck your whole trajectory up. You're like, what the hell's going on here? Oh, is it my success? Is it blinding me? It is. So here's where I'm going. You guys know where I'm going. I don't get hangovers and I drink a lot. What does that mean? It means a couple of different things. I can't see. It means a couple of different things. If you don't get hangovers, that means your metabolism is probably pretty fucking good. Which means you're not doing as much damage as you might think you are. So many of us, 90 hours sober, fuck yeah, dude, to the top. You already at the top, man. Everything after this is just bonus. I just emailed you about your problem. I really, really need help. Okay, cool. That means you probably left me a message with the link in my bio. So here's what I'm saying. A lot of people are convinced that they can't stop, which they can. They just think they can. A lot of people think that they're an alcoholic, and they're not. They're not. Most people are not alcoholics, but they call themselves alcoholics. In the same way that most people that go to AA aren't alcoholics. They go there because they think that's the only answer. They go there because their friends told them to. They go there because they're court ordered. They got a DUI. You know how many people get a DUI and drink? That was their first time drinking alcohol. You know how many people get in arguments and are forced into AA classes? I was forced into anger management classes for a year for defending myself. Are you what? They attacked me. I had to take 52 fucking anger management classes. That was infuriating. Because I'm sitting here I'm not an angry person. Like, what are you talking about? So here's where I'm going. If you're not physically addicted to this shit, if you're not high in the sky, okay, then the chances of you having tremors, DTs, hallucinations, like, I'm talking about spiders and shit crawling up your body. 90 days, fuck yeah! And I mean, like, extreme shit. I'm talking about demons in the corner, waking up next to fucking corpses and shit, in nightmares, shit uncontrollable, feeling things that aren't around. Delirium. That means you're delirious. Delirium tremors. It means your body is physically and emotionally reacting to things that are not real. 99% of people that drink alcohol are never going to reach that point. Ever. They just won't. Most people don't drink that much alcohol. They just drink a lot. So I want you to remember how this. Yeah, I've never had a DT. Yeah, I'll say this. You know why I hallucinate more now that I'm a spiritual person than I ever did when I was drinking? Dead serious. Every single day I see some shit that's not there. I'm not schizophrenic. I'm an in-tuned human being. Maybe it is there. and I'm just tripping out. Maybe I refuse to accept it. But the point is that my brain can function so much more expansively from a cognitive place that I could see how shiny that fucking plane is. I swear to God, it's a UFO, dude. Is that the extra coat? It's the extra fucking coat that he put on that goddamn plane. It's so shiny. It's just an orb in the sky. Why is it? Dude, do you put like anti-gravity wax on these things? Because they're not even flying. They're floating, bro. I don't know what you're doing. But they're just sitting in the clouds. I have videos of these orbs from the wax that you're using, dude. That's the only explanation. I just know wax on, wax off. Bro, you're taking these planes to another dimension. You're straight up like 5D ascension in every single wax off. Mr. Miyagi has some shit to learn from you, bro. These planes are no joke. You know what I'm saying? Your thoughts on binge drinking. All or nothing concept of drinking. So binge drinking, I look at it like this. I only run headfirst into the wall once a month. That doesn't sound good. I only jump out of shining planes and hit the ground head first once a month. Maybe twice. Maybe 8 days in a row, I'll go skydiving out of this shiny-ass jet, be blinded on my way down, forget to open my eyes, and then realize that my retinas have fried from the reflection, and just face plant into the fucking gravel. That's what I do only a couple times a month. That's binge drinking. Damn, how many times do you need to be hit by a truck before you just don't enjoy it anymore? This is why people ask me, it's like, I died from alcohol. They go like, would you ever drink again? Have you ever stubbed your toe? Like, how many times would you be like, you know what? I would totally stub my toe again. Yeah, absolutely. You're insane. No, I would never fucking drink again. It's a poison. I'm never jumping out of that plane. Oh, look at that shit from afar. I would admire it from a blur. Hopefully my contacts are in, right? I'm definitely a binge drinker. Okay, so I also want you to think about this. Binge drinking, a couple different things. If one is too many and 1,000 isn't enough, generally, that's a dopamine regulation. So what that means is a lot of people with ADHD, like myself, they're chasing the dopamine. So just the thought of alcohol is enough to release dopamine to get you to go out to that bar or be excited that friends are coming over with alcohol or be excited for that event. It's the dopamine. And that dopamine is released not just before. Listen to what I'm saying. Okay? So, shiny. Check this out. When you're excited to do something, you're not excited necessarily for the finished product. You're stoked as you're doing it. Dopamine is released in anticipation. Dopamine is released on anticipation. So when you are anticipating, expecting, and excited for your drink, that's why you're going out. It's because that flood of dopamine. That makes so much sense. I usually drink alone, but you're so right. Dude, that's awesome. I love this. It's all about awareness. So in anticipation of something, this is why people go like, well, you go to the gym every day, so that's your new addiction. What? That isn't, I'm excited. Toxic Abuse Anonymous in the building. What's up, G? Thank you so much. So if I'm anticipating to feel successful, feel happy, feel stronger, that's a healthy addiction. An addiction to dopamine or an expectation. That's a healthy expectation because I'm operating from a consistent place of expectation. But what am I expecting? I want you to really, Jen, what's up? I want you to really pay attention to this. This is so fucking important, okay? It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with alcohol, but it has everything to do with your mental health. Do you know who the happiest people are on the planet? I want you to think about it. Is it the people that shine jets? Are they the happiest? Is it the narcissists? Are they the happiest? Who are the happiest people on the planet? What about when you want to drink alone? Giving yourself permission to be introverted is exciting. I'm always excited to be alone. You have my attention. The people who love themselves. Okay, that's beautiful. I love that. The people that take care of themselves. These are great. These are great. These are great. I love this. We're on the right track. The narcissistic, they get a lot of dopamine too. Okay. The happiest people. Actually, if I could go really far with this. This is Adam. We'll get to you in a second. So check this out. Those that are the happiest love themselves, 100% little ones, okay? The happiest people in the world, write this down, are the ones that expect good things to happen. That's it. That's it. The ones that expect good things to happen, whether they happen or not. So if loving yourself is putting yourself in a position to expect good things, guess what your dopamine is doing for you, Melly? It's in a constant state of regulation. I would have never guessed that. Those that expect good things to happen. This is why I could go walk down the sidewalk, and if I expect every car to hit me, I'm not going to have a good time. You should always expect the worst. No, you should be prepared for the worst. You should never expect the worst. The worst never happens. That's why fear isn't real. The worst, all the fear that you feel has already happened to you. That's why you have it, right? You get good things. Expect good things, you get good things, right? So you got to remember this. Your greatest fear has already happened to you. That's the only way you have the reference of what you're afraid of. You can't be afraid of something that isn't real, that hasn't happened. You could only generate a fear based on what you've experienced. Something way scarier is going to have to happen, which won't. Your greatest fear is your greatest fear. You may have experienced your greatest fear when you were 6 years old. That's the peak. That's your reference. You're so right. I feel so much better. I'm about to start your program. Hell yeah, Melly. I sincerely appreciate that. So I want you to really think about this. And Adam, this is for you, brother. This is where dopamine becomes addictive, specifically in narcissistic or abusive relationships. If the happiest people expect good things to happen, then what do the abusers hope happens? They hope and subliminally or very consciously expect that potential to come to fruition. They expect the gap between the abuse to be that hit of dopamine. They put themselves in this centrifugal state of hope in the expectation of something good happening. That means they're becoming addicted to their own thought process. It's not going to be so bad. If it's not going to be so bad, that means it's good, right? So if you're expecting something good because it's not so bad, that's your hit. That's your serotonin. That's your dopamine. That's your endorphins. That's your oxytocin. That's your brain flooding and rewarding you for expecting goodness. Or being rewarded within the process of recognizing that it's not so bad. This is why happiness isn't something that shows up. It's a state of being. Makes sense? All of this stuff. When you become addicted to your own thoughts, when you become addicted to your own potential, it could go both ways. It goes both ways. So if you expect yourself to get results, you expect yourself or put yourself in the dimension of expectance, then what happens is you become your biggest fan. You become the reason you are moving forward. It has nothing to do with the results. You become addicted to your own progress. This is where there is a dimension, a state of unhealthy personal growth. It's where when if we're not growing, if we're not learning, if we're not feeling like we're moving forward, we feel like we're moving backwards. This makes us want to punish ourselves. We subliminally deregulate our own state of being so we could feel more content with feeling like shit. God damn it, it sucks. This is why we go, I deserve to feel like crap. Is because we've looked for so many reasons for us not to be feeling good that we accept this low point as our reality, as the best it's going to get. It always gets better. It can only get better. So if you're a mission man, I promise that you're succeeding at it. Thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate you. This makes so much sense. Dude, I love this. I love this. One of my favorite things and one of my I don't want to say abilities, it's just something I practice. Like, there's no difference between you and I, right? I've just practiced this longer. That's it. If they change the way that you look at things, the things you look at change. The world doesn't change, you do. The world changes when you do. Absolute 100% factual, psychological, neurological truths right there, dude. When you rewire your brain, we think that, you got to remember this. Everything that we are, everything that I am, is a collection of everything that I've experienced. Everything I've learned, everything I've ignored, everything that I've given myself permission to feel, and everything I've pushed away. This is what you get when you do all that, right? If you were given the same exact series of circumstances, you may process it in a different way. You would still end up being you. That's the beautiful part about being you, is now that you know that you're a collection of your experiences and the ways you've chosen, whether you wanted to or not, chosen to grow with or through them, this is what you get. You add everything that's ever happened to you up, you get you. That's fucking awesome. That's empowering. Because when you look at this and go like, oh shit, if I'm a collection of everything that's ever happened to me, then what am I happening right now? What's happening right now? What am I doing right now? Because if in 6 months you're going to be a collection of everything that's happened to you plus 6 months of growth, who do you think you're going to be? As a matter of fact, if you're here now, all of your experiences over the last 6 months have put you in a state of reception to be excited about every single word that falls out of my face. If you weren't ready for this information, you wouldn't be here. If it didn't speak to who you are, you wouldn't give a shit. This is why we started with 400 people and there's 100 amazing human beings, 104, that are here and ready and excited and allowing themselves to receive. That's a reflection of your success and progress. So many of us want to look at this and go like, oh, I'm here because I'm broken. Who told you that? Who told you? And why are you listening to them? Is that helping you move forward? No, it's helping you focus on how little you've grown instead of focusing on how far you've gone. Fuck those people. Only happy, healthy people are going to point out your successes. Everyone else thinks that the only way they're going to win is if you lose. There's enough win to go around for all of us. There's enough success for everyone. It's just a feeling. There's enough happiness for everybody. It's not like once all the happiness is gone, it's gone. What are you talking about? There's enough happiness and success to go around for everybody, and then some. That concept, now that I'm thinking out loud, so many of us look at this and go like, okay, well, what about the universe? If it's expanding. It's infinite already, yet it's expanding. We can't even process how big infinity is. What, so it goes on forever? Yeah. And it's getting bigger. Infinity is getting bigger. So the biggest it could get, this is as big as it can get. You're saying that it's getting bigger? It can't get bigger than this, but it's getting bigger. Like how do you process that? Your brain is a supercomputer. And it's unfathomable. That's what that word means. Like, you just cannot process how big infinity is. It's so big that the only thing you can do is just accept it. And go like, okay, big is bigger. But that's the same thing with happiness. Happiness is fucking infinite. It's not finite. It's not infinitesimal. It's not transactional. It's not even earned. When we realize that we are the infinite, that the happiness exists within, and that we could tap into it at any time, that puts some superhero pressure on us. We go like, shit, it is accessible. I don't have to do anything. I just have to give myself permission. I just have to allow myself to feel. I don't need a reason. No one's checking the boxes. I don't have to do this to get that. I just need to. My homegirl Paige, right? She just texted me a few seconds ago. She's camping by herself and her dog Taco. She's awesome. But she's stepping into the dimension of the infinite, into infinity. She's experiencing herself on her own, right? How do you deprogram from AA? This is really, really, really good. The first step to deprogramming yourself from AA is realizing that what they teach is a type of indoctrination. AA wants you to feel forever broken, like you have a disease, like you're a problem, like you should be ashamed of who you are. that be up, like thoroughly upset that you're not stronger. No excuses, right? And the only way, this is AA shit, the only way you're going to get this, the only way you're going to reach the state of success is if you become religious. If you completely step into a version of yourself that is so far outside your character that you must follow these concepts, otherwise you will fail. That's manipulation. That is sickening. That is disgusting. Do I get tempted to drink? Not at all. It's fucking just, AA is just as poisonous as alcohol to the wrong people. I'm going to say that again. AA is just as poisonous as alcohol to the wrong people. This is why if you're agreeing with what I'm saying, AA is poisonous to who you are. This is why some people will forever go to AA and will forever call themselves an alcoholic, even though they don't drink, they're not tempted, they don't have an addiction, they're not dependent, and they don't want alcohol. But they will identify as an alcoholic, which full circles back to, if you were taking 20 drinks and then stop, if you drink again, your chances of drinking 20 drinks is pretty much inevitable. This is why if you practice consuming less alcohol and then stop drinking, it's only as good as your last drink. So if you stop drinking at 2 drinks, what's 2 drinks gonna do? Don't take that literally. That's just a fucking, you see what I'm saying? That's just, my point is you're less likely to get a DUI, do all these things, and go back down the rabbit hole. Same as NA. There's a lot of toxic shit. And it's so important to remember this, man. So many people have been abused and have been traumatized, have PTSD, have been in narcissistic relationships, have been victimized, have been to their rock bottom. And then you take all of those experiences and then attempt you're live in my app. Oh, what's up, dude? Wait, I don't know what to say in the app. What's up, dudes? Hey, I'm so stoked. So since we're talking about narcissistic abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, the reality with this is when you take all of that experience and then put a bunch of people in a room with similar or exact experiences, then what happens is you create this vortex of emotional energy. You're basking in the low vibrational energy of those that can't escape their own mind. Just because you relate to someone doesn't mean you're growing. I don't want to relate to people with low mental health. It's only insulting if you take it that way. Because if I'm sitting here going like, you have low mental health? Oh my God, I cut too. I do this shit too. All I'm doing is justifying why I do this. I'm actually satisfying myself if I'm in a room full of people with the same exact problems. How you can't fix the problem you have as the problem. Another way of saying that is the only way to fix a narcissistic relationship is outside the relationship. You can't fix the problem from within the environment it was created. Not gonna happen. It won't happen. It can't happen. This is why toxic positivity exists too. Be happy, right? Look at the shine. Shut the front door, dude. No contact. 100%, right? We look at these things. Hey, thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you so much for the love. We look at these things and go like, okay, is the person that I want to be? Can't really think about this. If you're in a room full of people and you don't see a version of yourself that you would rather be, you're in the wrong room. Answer you. With what, Dallas? Like, I can do this without AA. You know, there's more people succeeding outside of AA that no, everyone's just going, oh, I got into meditation. I went to the beach. I got into the Beyond Sober program. I did the single shot method. Oh, I did like all these different, there were so many people succeeding outside of AA. They get so far through their sobriety, so far through their mental health, they don't even need to talk about it. Because once you reach this state, this is why Beyond Sober exists. I don't care about you being sober. I care about you and what you're doing with your sobriety. If you're detoxing from a narcissist or you're detoxing from poor mental health and poisoning yourself with a substance. It doesn't matter. It's all about what you're doing with your sobriety. So where I'm going with this is, if you're in a room full of people and not a single person there is someone that you would strive to be, not someone that has less problems than you. Listen to what I'm saying. Just because someone has less problems than you doesn't mean they're doing better. Just because someone has less perceived problems than you doesn't mean they're doing better. This is why you pick your mentors accordingly. You pick your data accordingly. People invest in people. That's why we're here. You see you in me. It's not that I'm just fucking genius. I'm a dude wearing 3 hats. They're my thinking caps, okay? That's it. But what I'm saying and how I'm delivering it and the energy behind it is the reason why you continue to find reasons why this is the place for you. And the reality with this is, you are the one succeeding. You're the one seeing this. You're the one feeling it. I can't force you to understand. And just sitting in the room, if we all wore 3 hats, that's the only reason we relate. They're like, fucking, Jimmy, fucking, he's the only bro. Do you need to put on another hat before you sit down over here, bro? It's 9:04 and you only have 2 hats on? Us here, we have 3 hats. Silly hats only. AA is just a trigger. 100%. So it depends on your state of mind. A lot of people go there because they feel like it's the only answer. I want you to understand this. AA shouldn't take a single shred of success. Listen to what I'm saying. With real life. Listen to what I'm saying. AA is not the reason people got the results. AA is not an injection. AA is not a pill. AA is not. It just is. How do people get results? From doing the work, from putting the energy in, from finding reasons why what's being taught there is for them. AA is just a collection of data. In the same exact way, beyond sober, the masterclass is just a collection of data. If you show up and do nothing, it's just as powerful as AA, or not as powerful. That's why it's important to surround yourself with people, go to places, and connect with things that hold you accountable, that help you move forward, that help you see your success, that help you find your fucking strength, that give you an environment to practice, and help you become better than the person that created the problem, the person struggling with the issue. People wanting to better themselves, 100%. Dude, you could unlock the secrets to the universe reading the ingredients on the backside of a shampoo bottle. I've done it. Let's go. People, places, and things. So remember this, man. Self-love. You guys are all loving you right now. I'm loving me right now. We are all loving ourselves right now by allowing success and positivity and optimism into our hearts. And X said you need to go to AA. Once I got rid of her, the need to drink left. Oh my goodness. Yes, 100%. Okay. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. What's up, Ed? Wait, who is that? Real Austin? What's up, dude? So I want you to remember this. We all have a reason to drink. We're either drinking because of the way we're processing ourselves or the way we feel we need to process other people. I don't like you, and the only way that I can handle you is if I'm drinking. Okay? This brings up some very interesting things because self-love, self-care, self-worth, 100%. I want you to remember this. Check this out. The way we drink alcohol is a reflection of our mental health. If we're struggling with our mental health, we need to look at our environment, look at our conditions. Hey, love from Texas. Hell yeah. I lived in Austin for a little while. Love it. So if our mental health is being lowered because of the people in our environment, such as a loved one, family, friend, society, whatever it is, then it makes sense to remove ourselves from that environment. Otherwise, we become the reason we need to escape the environment. This full circles back to If you don't grow through the problems, you become the problem for other people. If you don't grow through your trauma, if you don't grow through your emotions, you become the reason other people need to grow. You become the issue for others. This is why personal growth is so, so, so important. People are either going to grow with you. All Zoom listening. First time they ever. Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much. It's getting hot in here. Oh my goodness. So check this out. I'm going to say this again because we talked about this earlier. If you do not give yourself permission to grow through the things you're struggling with, you become the thing other people need to struggle through. Write that down. If you do not grow, if you refuse to grow, if you do not put energy in the things that help you become better, you become the thing other people need to survive. God damn it. Why do you think we've been traumatized by other people? They refuse to grow. They refuse to do the work. Then we're forced to reflect on our mental health, forced to reflect on our environment, forced to reflect on our entire reality, simply because they refuse to grow. Thank goodness they exist, because now we know what we don't want. Now we know exactly who we don't want to be. Now we know what exactly we need to focus on. How we do it is totally different. But the point is I don't want to be someone that you have to survive. Do you? Do you want to be the person that other people have to survive? Definitely not. I never got a DUI. I should have, though. I drove drunk every single day for years. Loads of people in my car, too. I'm here. Nope. We don't want to be the person that other people have to survive. That's just a reflection of low mental health, man. A lot of people that we have to struggle with are those that refuse to grow. I know it personally. I've been in every relationship I was in until the one that I'm in now. It was something that I had to survive. But I was also something that they needed to survive. I practiced narcissistic behavior. That's a reflection of low mental health, right? You pick up the personality traits of alcohol. Alcohol is a narcissist. I turned my post-traumatic stress into post-traumatic growth. Oh my goodness. PTSD. Holy crap, that's beautiful, dude. Dude, it's getting hot in here. Hold up. I love that. I absolutely love that. PTSD into PTSD. Holy crap, dude. That is absolutely phenomenal, dude. It's getting real in here. I gotta get these shoulders out real quick. The fan's kicking. All right. Dude, that's amazing. Please never drink and drive. I promise you guys it's not worth it. Nah, definitely not. Definitely not, man. And the reason that I drank and drove is, first off, I was a functioning alcoholic. Okay, here's something else that's really important for us all to understand. What was my drink of choice? Tequila. That was the best. Okay. Alcoholics and drunks drink to get drunk. Functioning alcoholics drink to feel sober. Hey, brother, thanks for everything. Hey, absolutely. Alcoholics and drunks drink to get drunk. Functioning alcoholics, like I was, drink to act sober. That's when your intake has become so necessary to function that to drive a car, you need 6 or 7 shots to get to work, to get things happening, to pay your bills, to deal with a narcissist, to manage, to function. In order to reach a place of normality, which is where we're most comfortable, we drink to feel sober. That's when it's too much. That's when we've consumed too much. We're too dependent on that stuff. That all that does is lower our mental health and makes us more dependent. Whether it's a narcissist or alcohol, it's technically the same thing. We become dependent. We become seriously emotionally entangled. We don't know how to operate without it because our entire programming is within it. Narcissists and alcohol, same thing, force you to think about them 24/7. Don't say this. Don't do that. You're constantly creating a stronger neurological connection to the reaction, to the responses, to the expectations, right? Facts. So when you're looking at an unhealthy relationship, which is what alcohol and narcissism is, an unhealthy relationship, you learn to operate within the limits of what's going to cause the least amount of violence, least amount of abuse, least amount of bullshit. So if you're dealing with a narcissist, a human, don't say that. Don't bring that stuff up. Oh, you just agree. You just do these things, okay? You only say these things, right? Because if you say something like this, if you express your emotions, you're too needy, right? With alcohol, if you don't remove your boundaries, you're gonna operate like this. There's so many things. Beth, what's up? So we want to look at these things and go like, what type of person do I want to be? Do I want to feel enslaved under the realm of someone else's decisions, someone else's health? You gotta really think about these things, man. When we feel enslaved, it's because we are putting on a persona, an avatar that is geared and based, designed, built, and functioning in survival mode. Teeth are so white, looks good. It's the filter. If we're constantly in a state of survival and we're constantly writing codes, whether we're punishing ourselves with alcohol or we're in an unhealthy relationship, when that scope, that reality becomes so real and the only thing we know, we lose touch with ourselves and our reality. Our reality, listen to this, your personality, the way you say shit, is a reflection of your personal reality. Okay? Your personality is your personal reality. So if you constantly look at me and go like, he's only as smart as Pauly Shore, nothing I'll ever say is going to sink in because you can't see past the Pauly Shore. So if you go like, he's just a gym rat, you're never going to see past the shoulders. But your personality, the way you think, the way you act, the way you feel, right? The way you interpret the world, that is the way you see the world. That's based on your environment. This is why when you hang out with people that are super expansive, super creative, another like extroverted, you start to feel uncomfortable sometimes because you're like, wait, I'm allowed to say these things? I'm allowed to feel this? I'm allowed to bring this to the table? I'm allowed to be myself? Dude, I haven't done this in a long time. Because your reality has been within the scope of the personality you had to develop under the lens of the abuse. When you're surviving, that's not thriving. What we pick up and what we practice when we're in survival mode does not work when we're thriving. This is why the only way to fix what we call our personality or our reality or shift our reality is outside the lens of that environment of toxicity. You can't fix the problem from within the environment that created it. You have to step out. You have to give yourself permission. This is why it's so hard to break up with an unhealthy person when you're emotionally entangled with them, and it's so hard to break up with alcohol. Get out. 100%. Both of those have this very strong emotional entanglement that we've developed a love for. Beneath the pain is the love. The love is why we stay. The love is what has been... Keep in mind, I take a shot. I deal with your shit because I want to continue loving you. I violate my boundaries because I love you. I love you more than I love myself. That's why I'm willing to completely annihilate my boundaries, annihilate my health, physical, mental, spiritual, financial. It's not even love, it's an addiction. 100%. God gave you the test and you can share your testimony. 100%. So that's the trip. So many of us, how many times have you been in a situation where you're like, you know what, I could endure this. You know what, it'll go away. It'll go away. We think that our love is a reflection of how much shit we're willing to deal with. How much pain you're willing to go through for another person. Love is not pain. although it can be painful. We're willing to put ourselves in dangerous positions and willing to go through an extent of pain as a reflection of the depths of our love or what we perceive love to be. But just because you're willing to torture yourself doesn't mean you have more love for someone else. It means you have less love for yourself. Let's say this again. Just because you're willing to go through the pain, deal with the trauma, deal with the abuse, doesn't mean you have more love for someone else. It means you have less love for yourself. Once we give ourselves permission to love us the way we want to be loved by others, we don't violate boundaries. We don't. We don't allow people to violate our boundaries. We don't let them step on us. We don't drink alcohol, so we're less likely to respond in a healthy way to unhealthy behavior. If someone's abusing you, violating your boundaries, and you need alcohol to deal with that, that's called taking the edge off. You know what taking the edge off is? It's removing your boundaries. Remember, you don't drink because you don't care. You drink because you don't want to care. We drink because we don't want to care about these things. Sometimes it's just easier to let our guards down. It's easier to just allow them to step on us because any attention is better than no attention. You know, bullies do that shit. Alcohol does that shit. Narcissists do that shit. Any attention is better than no attention. You don't want to be afraid of being with yourself. The best relationship you're ever going to create is the one that you allow with you. You think I'm alone in this room? I'm with me. I drink because I can't handle the shaking. Yeah, that's a reflection of your physical dependency on alcohol. That's not the end game. Just because you shake because you don't drink, it doesn't mean that you're fucked. It doesn't mean you're forever broken. Why don't you answer questions? I don't know why I don't answer questions. Hopefully that answer proves whatever you're looking for. I answer most questions, including the one that you just asked. I'm about to move out of my abusive ex. 2 weeks left. I really want to be better. I want you to remember this. Getting away from them doesn't guarantee anything. The reason why you're excited that you're going to be out in 2 weeks is because you are better. The reason you're excited to leave is not because you can be better. It's because you are better. You've reached this state of growth where you know that moving, getting away is going to take your growth to the next level. You're already growing. You've learned what you don't want. Therefore, you are in a state of winning. You're winning at life because you are moving away from what doesn't serve you. You're activating your boundaries. You're sticking to this shit. You know guess what? You're not going to find yourself in another situation like that. And if you do, guess what you're going to do? You're going to reflect on the past relationship and go like, nope, this is too similar. I also want you to remember this. Do you think the reason why I've attracted you is because I'm a shitty person? Do you think we're all here because we're shitty people? Or do you think we're all here because we're fucking awesome? We're all growing. I'm crying my eyes out. Melly, I love you. That's so awesome. See what I'm saying? I told you, if you find yourself doing this on the other side of the screen, feel free to share, tap, follow, whatever. Link in bio if you guys want to connect with me or ask me a question. That's the truth, is you've already grown. You've given yourself permission. We're not here because of the shitty shit we see in each other. We're here because we recognize how beautiful we actually are, how unstoppable, how powerful, how human we all are. That's why we choose to stay. You're not seeing something that you can get. You're seeing who you really are. No, you don't look like Pauly Shore. You're probably not wearing two hats either. But you do, down to your core, know that this is 100% who you are. That's who you are. It's not just something you're thinking, oh, maybe one day I'll get that. You are that. If you weren't that, you wouldn't see that. If you're not looking for blue, you won't see blue. You won't. It's not, you're not even looking for it. We always find what we're seeking because what we seek is seeking us. We want to be found. We want to be seen. We want to recognize. This is why, if you're still here, you are convincing yourself that this is more of who you are, not all this other shit you don't want. You're recognizing that this is who you are. The way I speak, what I deliver, is a part of your core, your being. It's not who you want to be. It's who the fuck you are. That's the beautiful part about growth. You're not crying because you're sad. You're crying because you're so fucking seen. You are happy. You've given yourself permission to let go and grow through. If it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be for you. If this message wasn't for you, you wouldn't hear it. It would just be words. All right, I'm about to subscribe. Give me a second. Keep in mind, I'm just here to support you guys. So much yes, right? That's the thing. That's the major difference between like AA, other programs, personal development stuff. There's a lot of people that say really nice things, a lot of things that are attractive because they are the polarization of what we don't want to feel. This is why compliments only go so far. If you don't want to be complimented, you're just going to throw it off. People that have an addiction are some of the most intelligent people out there too. 100%. You know why? You know why people that have addictive personalities are so incredibly intelligent? First off, they have put themselves in this place of struggle. Through the depths and the lens of that struggle, they've learned how to function and continue thriving through these things. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. They've challenged their mind, their body, and their entire perception of the universe through an artificial substance. That's brain training. Aside from the struggle that they've been thriving through, it's very rare that there's someone that's just some boring person just decides to, consume a substance so they could think more thoughts. So they could have the people that develop an addiction are the ones that have so many insanely profound and accurate, mind-bogglingly paralyzing thoughts that the only answer at that perceived moment is to shut them off with a substance. Could be alcohol. could be a pill. It could be addiction to narcissistic tendencies. You see what I'm saying? This is why my boy, dude, he took himself out in the corner of Vegas Boulevard. He was a certified genius. His IQ was off the charts. The people that are more depressed are the ones that understand the depths of the universe more than others and don't want to. I struggle with this for so long because it's so easy to find reasons why everything is just designed to fail and to crumble and to just like break apart, and how this doesn't work because she doesn't work, and if only this and all this stuff, and you get lost in all of, it's not even negative, it's truth. You get lost in the truth of the negativity. It's not the negativity itself. It's the absolute density of the truth, the possibilities of the fragility of life. You're like, dude, we're not even designed to live. Our skeletons are on the inside. The strongest parts of our body, our bones are on the inside. Even bugs got a shell. We're designed to fail. What's up, man? My life choices, what's up? So in the depths of depression, and anxiety too, right? A lot of people that get real anxious find themselves in the polarization, anxiety high, depression low. They get depressed. That's the shitty part about being so intelligent, is you could find Bojangles. I've been listening to you for over a year. You've helped me help me to detox. Drink after detox. Dude, you're good, man. You're good. We'll talk about that. Dude, you have been my inspiration for 2 years now. Dude, I love that. Thank you. So here's the truth is we don't drink and become addicts because we're weak, okay? If you're in a narcissistic relationship or have been in one or have been entangled in an abusive relationship, whether it's with alcohol or with a person or with a job or with the universe, we don't feel like failures because we're weak. We feel like failures because we've been strong for way too long. We don't cry because we're weak. We cry because we literally can't hang on any longer. And when you let go and give yourself permission, your body and mind is going to take over and do what it needs to do to take care of you. Your mind is always going to sacrifice the body, right? First, it's going to stay alive as long as it possibly can. We don't cry. We don't feel pain. We don't let go because we're weak. Your own body weight is heavy enough. So if you are crying, if you are letting go, if you're feeling depressed, if you have that anxiety, if you feel that turmoil, if you feel that weight in your chest, it's not because you're weak. It's because you've had to step so far into the illusion of strength that you forgot that it's okay to let go. Being strong is not the same as feeling strong. I could be strong all day. Doesn't mean I feel strong. People every day, I talk to people every day in the gym. I was like, did you kill it? You killing it? He's like, I did this, that, and the other. I was like, you feel good? He's like, well, you don't feel strong? Bro, you just lifted hundreds of thousands of pounds. I don't feel strong. Bro, this is your 6th day in the gym. You think you don't feel strong because you're weak? Bro, you've been strong all week long. You're not supposed to be strong right now. You're supposed to feel like you can't lift anything. That's what being strong is. And we think that like the whole world is crumbling because we have an emotion, because we feel something. Our feelings can't hurt us. It's not a knife. It just feels like one. I almost lost everyone that was a friend because of me choosing sobriety. You understand that you didn't choose sobriety. You chose your health. You chose your mental health. You chose your physical health. You prioritize your future. There's nothing more powerful, nothing sexier, nothing more attractive, nothing more extravagant than seeing someone else taking care of themselves. Do you have any idea how amazing it is when you're a happy, healthy person to see other people taking care of themselves? That creates a sense of peace in most of us, knowing that we don't have to take care of you because you got you. That's what real strength is. My thoughts beat me down. You allowed yourself to feel beaten by thoughts you didn't ask for. You don't have to have a reaction to every car that drives by. You gotta understand, if you're not actively thinking, then you're a slave to your programming. You're a slave to your habits, a slave to your habitual thoughts. Life is habitual. The way I put my hat, the way I say these words, the way I blink these eyeballs, all a habit. The way I sit. You see, the way I do everything, it's a habit. When we're not actively thinking, living with intent, we are enslaved in our programming. What's back there, what they said, what you felt, what you didn't let go of, what you didn't thrive through, what you think you're supposed to think, what you think about what you thought when you were thinking about not thinking. All of that becomes the driving force. This is why when you look at your actions, you go like, well, how is my life set up? Am I still in survival mode? Am I still looking over my shoulder when I walk down the street, even though there's nothing to worry about? No. Because I'm thriving now. That behavior isn't conducive, or it isn't going to push me further or help me feel like I'm moving forward. There's nothing back there, yet I keep looking back. It's the rear view mirror. There's nothing there. Every time I look back, I'm not looking forward. That's why we want to step into these states of progression and expansion. You're writing a lot, but still your own thoughts or perspectives. Everything is my own thought or perspective. And then they become yours. And then that's where we have an agreement. Bubba Chris, dude with absolutely no profile picture, wants to know credentials. Credentials about what? Am I saying something that's triggering the fact that it's so accurate that you need to see something that's going to identify me as someone that knows what the absolute fuck they're talking about? Or are you having an identity crisis and you need me to prove to you that you are the smartest one in the room? One of those is true, because obviously if you need credentials, then you are applying a state of authority that doesn't exist. No one cares. Because if they did care, it would be a law for me to spit facts. It's not. The truth is the truth, no matter what we think or feel about it. There's a personal truth. And what's up, dude? There's our personal truth. There's the objective truth. And then there's the political truth. So we'll do this about credentials. My personal truth, my credentials is life, surviving it. I died. I know a lot about life and just as much as about death, okay? I personally believe that I have more credentials than most people that go to school. That's my personal truth. The political truth is what other people say. No, if you didn't go to school, if you didn't graduate, if you don't have 100 awards over here, your words hold no value. That's interesting. That's a political truth. That's what society, that's what our friends, our family, that's why everybody's in fucking debt, right? Go to college, get your credentials, get your degree, all this shit. I got an award over here if you really want to see this shit, right? That's a political truth, thinking or believing that you have to go to school in order to be validated as someone that has credentials. I can show you my ID, but I don't need you to steal this shit. Then there's the objective truth. The truth without emotion, opinion, or thought, okay? The objective truth here is in order to get someone results, you simply have to know the material. That's it. A textbook. I could be reading from a textbook right now. Doesn't matter what textbook. If what I'm saying is accurate, then credentials aren't needed. Who cares where the book came from? Facts is facts. Facts over feelings. So objectively, you don't need any fucking credentials to deliver absolute scientific, neurological, psychological, factual information. So, none of these truths are in alignment, but I agree with these two. So personally, I think I know more. I think I have these credentials. I choose to believe that. That's where I operate from, knowing more than others in areas they've never experienced. This is a fact, whether you like it or not. That's my personal truth and fucking leaf. You don't need to have credentials. You don't have to go to school. You don't need to have awards. Although I do. That doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck. None of them are a reflection of my personal truth. And objectively, none of them fucking matter. But the reality is my personal truth and the objective truth are closer than you thinking I need credentials. Make sense? This is why I continue to show up. This is why people continue arriving and giving themselves permission to grow. This is why people continue to show up and find reasons why they are capable of expansion instead of showing up asking for credentials to give themselves permission to grow. Nothing needs to happen. Always show up. You are your own credentials. I will never, ever, ever, ever fucking ask you for your credentials to ask a question. Are you curious? Ask your question. Your question doesn't hold more weight because you're a doctor. Your question doesn't hold more weight because you're a survivor. Your question holds weight because I fucking respect you, period. Your question is valid because you're human. Your question is valid regardless of my opinion. If I choose to respond to it, that creates value, which is also a perspective. Interesting how everything is a perspective. But if you operate with a closed loop mindset, you will never see the truth for what it fucking is. You will constantly find reasons why everything you think, feel, say, and do is absolutely fucking true, even if it's 100% incorrect and not in alignment with who you want to be. You'll defend it because it's yours. You'll defend it because you created it, not because it's true, not because you agree with it, because you've practiced feeling attacked. You've practiced needing certain things before you allow yourself to grow. That's insane. That's called a limiting belief. Either you're open to growing or you're not. This is why there's 90% of the planet that refuse to take in new possibilities, try new things, say new words, take on new habits, practice new ideas, because they've learned how to manage and cope within the scope of their limitations. All of us are operating out here, right? And then you have that one that only wants to learn within this fucking box. there's hope for you. It's just, this is more of a learning experience for everybody than it is anything else. Thank you for being here, 100%. I trust this experience more than I do a doctor trying to shove meds down my throat. I can't even tell you how many times that people go like, dude, I've gotten more from you in 15 minutes than I did with 2 years with my therapist. Brienne's in the building. Talk about credentials. Holy shit. Brienne Mass. My baby in the building, sending me so much love. Thank you. Babe, I just got your messages. I was in process, right? With these things said, talk about credentials. Brienne is one of the most powerful people I've ever met in my entire life. So if you want to know where a lot of my skills come from, a lot of these, how I check my ego, then I want you to follow Brienne. Take a look at her program, Words Are Human. Jump on her manifestors list. She's helping people grow through spirituality, right? Next level stuff. So we've talked a little bit about that here today. But the reality is that she has her own set of credentials, her own life, her own experiences, her own growth, her own understandings, beliefs, and absolute truths that reflect success, growth, expansion, right? Her truths are just as powerful, if not more powerful than mine, because they were a reflection of who she is, what she's learned. And the credentials are in the testimonials. The credentials are in the reason people continue to show up. My credentials, in another way of saying it, is everybody that remains here. If my credentials didn't bring value, everyone would leave. But they don't. You don't. You know, you feel, you want to grow, and it makes absolute sense. Please drop it. Can you tell us how you stopped drinking and your experience early on? I didn't stop drinking. I died. Oh, God, that's trauma. You see how we laugh at trauma? So here's the thing. I didn't stop drinking. I did try and stop drinking. And I did quit drinking for 2 weeks. And the reason why it was so difficult is because I didn't change my environment. When did you shake? I started shaking about a year and a half, almost 2 years. So once I started shaking, it was about 5 months, 8 months. 8 months after I started shaking that I started to realize that my liver was failing, that I was sick, that I was dependent, that I needed alcohol to live. So remember this, I ended up in the hospital, so throwing up blood. I was bright yellow. Let me see if I can pull something up for you guys real quick. I was bright yellow, super duper sick, obviously dying. And then the doctor said, dude, if you drink, you'll die. So after they brought me back to life, they were like, hey, dude, there's no going to the bars. There's no going back to the old person. There's no doing anything that you used to do. Like, you have to change your entire life. So if you guys can see this, that's me. Don't cancel me. The same, I don't know, right? Same size face. I'm trying to do it without the reflection. There we go. That's a little bit better. So this is what jaundice looks like when you've taken it to the next level. When alcohol becomes your medicine, this is what you look like. This is not edited, okay? This is my face now. That's the way I look like. This was after surgery. This is after I died, and this is in the 3rd or 4th hospital. So I went through 250 hours of torture looking like this. Super scary stuff, dude. A lot of people aren't gonna get here, but this is what happens. So let me see this. People trip out. They go like, "There's no way your eye was like that." Yeah, 100%. This is why people like to come in here and go like, "Your eyes are looking yellow." Are they? Are they looking yellow? I hope not, because I have PTSD from this shit. But that's the reality, man. Alcohol is poison, and a lot of us are causing, physical pain and don't even know it. And that's why it once again, it's not about like quitting alcohol. It's about practicing drinking less, becoming more aware of your mind and your body, so you know why you're drinking and aware of how you're drinking it. It's just important, It's doing more damage than it is improving our life. As a matter of fact, when you really look at it, alcohol is meant to improve our life. So if it's not doing that, then it's making our life more difficult. It's lowering our mental health, forcing our body to struggle. My body wouldn't do that if it wasn't struggling. Your mental health wouldn't deplete if it wasn't struggling. This is why when we give, I was given a year to live. So Rojas, how far out are you? A year to live? They were saying most people don't, after situations like that, they don't live past a year. This is why Brianne's like, you're going to die first. I'm just older. That's it. But that's why I take care of myself. My most score was 35. Mine was up there too. I got to go back through the paperwork. My jaundice levels was 20.8, I believe. It was crazy. Healthy relationship with alcohol or quit, period. So this is very important. So I want you to think about this. Your relationship to alcohol is a reflection of your relationship to yourself. Do you have a healthy relationship with you? Do you look at you, when you look in the mirror, you're going like, God damn, you're amazing. Do you look at you and go like, fuck, all I see is success. All I see is beauty. All I see is progress. All I see is, a gorgeous being. No, I do not. Okay, absolutely not. Does that feel good when you think shit about yourself? Probably not, right? No. So Melly, Megan, Lipsy, I want you to ask this. I'm going to ask you this question. Would you drink differently if you thought more highly of yourself? Do you think you would drink alcohol the way you do if every time you looked in the mirror, you were like, you're my favorite fucking person? Do you think you would drink like that? The amount? You would drink the exact same amount even though you loved yourself more. Think about what I think about it. Emotional modulation. Yeah, 100%. Yes, because when I'm happy with myself, okay, good. When I'm happy with myself, I barely drink. Oh, I got you. Yeah, 100%. I truly am so grateful you came my FYP one day. You made me believe a healthy relationship is possible. 100%. Absolutely it is. 100%. So you're looking at this, I wouldn't. Hang on, going back. Nope. You wouldn't drink the same. I wouldn't drink the same. I'm crying right now. It's okay to cry. You're not crying because you're weak. You're crying because you're so happy to realize that you're in control. This is a part of your growth. I cry every day. I cried looking at the fucking clouds today. I'm not messing around. Dawson came in here. I had the whole story. Feel your feelings. They're not going to hurt you. They're going to help. They're guides. All feelings are guides. Okay. If you really want to step into these things and like grow through it, I want you to follow Brianne. Take a look at Words Are Human, wordsarehuman.com. Or you can click the link in my bio and I'll send everything over to you guys. But here's the thing is when you got like really think about this. When you look in the mirror and you look at yourself, there's a series of thoughts and emotions that occur. Okay. I cry when I see messed up highlight. It's okay to care. It's okay to care. Remember, we don't drink because we don't care. We drink because we don't want to care. I don't want to care about my eyebrows, but I do, so I drink. I don't want to care about my skin, but I do, so I drink. I don't want to care about how he's treating me, but I do, so I drink. I don't want to care about how much I give a shit about my future, but I do, so I drink. I don't want to care about how little I feel I've moved, but I do, so I drink. You don't drink because you don't care. You drink because you don't want to care. You don't want to care. Taking the edge off is removing your care for self. You're removing the boundaries. Your emotions are your boundaries. Your emotions are the things you use to regulate and modulate your existence, your path. When you want a smoothie, you don't talk yourself out of it. You find reasons why it's a good decision. That's a feeling. You're like, I know I'm going to feel good, and I feel good taking that action. You're in alignment with who you are, who you want to be. You want to be someone that thinks better about themselves, but you punish yourself for not being that person yet. Yet here's the thing. I tell Brianne this all the time. Good moms wonder if they're a good mom. Always. The best moms beat themselves up because they think they're being a bad mom. Bad parents or great parents check themselves and go like, am I good? Are we doing good? Are we doing something wrong? Good people in a state of progress, people that give a shit, question whether or not if what they're doing is enough for who they are and who they want to be. The fact that you don't love and have a visceral positive response to your reflection is an absolute fact that you care about you, that you love you to the point of hating on yourself. The sad part about that misconception is we think that if we hate on ourselves long enough, maybe we'll start loving who we've become or who we're becoming. If being hard on you worked, it would have worked by now. If being hard on you worked, it would have worked by now. This is why you can't hate yourself into a state of positivity. You can't beat yourself through the pain and come around the other side to pleasure. There's a thin line for you crazy people out there. I'm one of them, right? You see where I'm going with this shit? You have to be it until you see it. You have to act as the person you want to be until that becomes the person that you are. Happy, healthy people don't practice hating their reflection. They practice loving their glow. They practice finding reasons why those lines are awesome. The self-care is not selfish. As a matter of fact, the greatest act of selflessness is selfishness. You must take care of you so you could be the best version of yourself for others. Do you think I just do nothing? Do you think I don't focus on myself all day long so when I show up for you, I'm the best version I could possibly be to help you move through these things? I got to guide myself before I can guide you. That's what leaders do. This is why you must lead yourself. The whole point of me continuing to show up is so you realize how little you need what I'm saying because you are what I'm saying. Makes sense? A master coach, a coach in general, is supposed to make themselves progressively less necessary. This is why I want you to look in the mirror and go like, fucking killed it. I'm killing it. Whether you believe it or not, nothing has to be true for you to believe it. But if what you choose to believe helps you move forward, keep believing it. And then eventually your brain and you, consciously and subconsciously, find reasons why it's absolutely true. Why you're the strongest person you know. Why everything you've been through has totally been worth it. Why you've grown so much further than you've given yourself credit for. Why you're the most powerful person in the majority of the rooms you're ever going to walk into because nobody is loving themselves the way that you are. Absolute fucking facts, dude. And then what you do is you find yourself in rooms full of other people that are loving themselves in the same way that you're loving you. And then we get to love you. Holy shit, you're glowing, dude. I see it. You're glowing. And then you're like, I am glowing. Oh my goodness. We see it. And then you attract more of that. And then as you attract more of that, you tell me this, dude. You see happy people. Part of it's kind of like, they're a little weird, right? But you're still attracted to it. In the same way that you see my two hats and all this stuff, you're not going like, ew, get out of here. Some people, right? But the reality is you're going, whatever it is that he's delivering, however he's saying this message, whatever energy he's bringing to the table is who I actually am, not who I want to be. It's just you haven't practiced sharing yourselves in the ways that I have. I share myself through experience, what I've given myself permission to feel. Just because I'm happy doesn't mean I don't get sad. Just because I'm ecstatic and phenomenal and feel off the chain, I feel like I'm in another world, doesn't mean I don't feel like it's hell sometimes. It just means that I know that when I'm in hell, the only place to go is up. And I'm excited for the journey back. I'm not afraid to go down. That's a reflection of my positive and cognitive mental health. I practice those things. And that's why I take care of me. I go to the gym, I drink water, I eat food, I get sleep. That's really it. That's all that really is. Law of attraction. Your thoughts and feelings attract your reality. So here's, when we talk about law of attraction, this is, how do you think I attracted Brienne? How do you think I attracted all of you guys? If you really think about this, you attract what you are. Okay? Now, don't take that to the extent of the literal sense going like, well, I'm a piece of shit. Don't do that. That's not healthy, okay? But I do want you to understand, Trisha, I want you to look at this and go like, what am I attracting? Okay? if you're capable of attracting me into your life, how do you think I ended up on your FYP? You think it was a coincidence? You think it was just like random? No, the universe was like, hey, you know what? You should hang out with Kohdi today. And then the universe was like, you know what? All you guys, you should hang out with all them. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. Okay, absolutely. You've attracted me into your life. I've attracted you into my life. Together, we are magnetic. Magnetic. We are reflections of each other. That's the amazing, amazing, amazing part of all this. Are you a sponsor for anyone, or do you have a sponsor? I'm a sponsor for thousands and more people than I could count. Not only on TikTok, but inside the Beyond Sober Masterclass. Not only that, but I do one-on-one growth coaching as well. Not just sobriety, but personal growth. So like, another way of saying it is I'm working with my homegirl Paige and Tasha. And we both have very specific regimens, very specific topics and concepts that are reflections of where they are in life. And I work with them personally for like 2 months. Tasha, she used to have a really, really unhealthy relationship with alcohol. Now she has a better relationship with herself and her husband. So she's drinking so much less. What's up, Kisler? So much less. She's developed a healthy relationship with alcohol. She doesn't drink to escape her emotions anymore. She's drinking to basically improve the moment. It's not, she doesn't drink the same. She drinks from a healthy place. That's the whole point. And then Paige, she's out camping right now. She's not drinking any alcohol at all. Like she's totally practicing something different. She's working on her physical and mental health. She's hanging out with her dog. Super amazing human. I'm so excited to be working with her. And so not only do I offer coaching for select people, but then there's the masterclass, which is not only the community, it's the coaches, access to me, and all that other stuff. So if anybody's remotely interested in going into like the depths and the details of what I talk about here and improving your mental health and moving so far through your sobriety you forgot you ever had a problem, then you want to take a look at the masterclass. It's the price of a cell phone bill. Not even. I spend more at the grocery store every week. It's insane. But the point is you're going to invest in your misery or you're going to invest in your health and happiness. So if anybody's remotely interested, you can either hit the link in the bio or you can take a look at beyondsoberprogram.com. Watching you from El Paso. Hell yeah. Dude, El Paso was like forever. I remember driving through that. It was insane. I used to drink every day for 3 years. Holy crap. I know that feeling. You know you could drink every day for years and not be an alcoholic, right? You're not an alcoholic because you drink every day, right? What if alcohol is your happiness? Then you're under the illusion that happiness means pleasure. Pleasure, joy, doesn't mean happy. Please consider this. Miserable people consume pleasure all day long and are not happy. You're not happy because you drink. You're not happy because you're not in pain. You're not happy because you're not sad. Happiness is a state of being. You cannot be truly happy under the false illusion of a poison. Not possible. It's neurological wiring. It's a state. It's an energetic force. That BC guy, what up, dude? It's an energetic force that you operate from. Please answer me. I need to know since you're a survivor. I'm sorry, I didn't even catch that. What's the other one? Hang on, I'm scrolling up. I don't see your question. There should be a question box. If there's not a question box, Mimi, ask that again. So I want you to remember this. So many people, the reason why we consume is because we believe that the more pleasure we receive, the happier we are. 230 days, hell yeah, dude. Almost gave in drinking today. Dude, that's what, $2,300 in sobriety? If I gave you $100 for every day you didn't drink, you'd make $2,300 already. God damn, at least I think. So this is a common misconception, not just in society, but those with low mental health. We go, if I don't feel bad, then I feel good. Not true. If I feel good, I must be happy. Also not true. You could be miserable as fuck in a field of dandelions. In a field of dandelions, dude, rainbows and fluffy kittens. Miserable as shit. Why is that? If pleasure or being around pleasurable things was enough to make us happy, we would just be happy. That's not how it works. That is why people use alcohol to mask their misery. If I don't feel as miserable as I am, then I must be happy. Then we latch on to the illusion that alcohol equals happiness, pleasure equals happiness. Little do we know, or do we want to accept that the more alcohol we consume, the less happy we actually are, the less potential to reach happiness we become, because we're lowering our mental health. Our mental health was already low to start with. Why do you think we started drinking? And then it's physically and emotionally lowering our entire world. And then we're becoming emotionally dependent on alcohol. Then we feel lonely, our dopamine depletes, our serotonin is gone, our oxytocin is nowhere to be found. And the only way that we could really feel what our body normally creates is under the illusion of liquor. Just because you're not in pain doesn't mean you're healed. Just because you don't care doesn't mean it doesn't matter to you. Alcohol is an illusion. But if we use alcohol to expand our universe, expand our mind in a healthy way, then we're utilizing it in a safe and healthy way from a healthy place. Listen to this. If alcohol created happiness, then I would have died happy. If the feeling of happiness was true, and you could access true happiness through liquor, it would be medically recommended. It would be a fucking medicine. Alcohol only becomes medicine when you're dependent on it to live. When the only way you can function, the only way you can operate is under the illusion and the physical fuel of the poison. That's the only time it becomes a medicine. This is why doctors will recommend alcohol. Do you know when they recommend alcohol? When you're a fucking addict. The safest place for any addict to be is on the substance. They're less likely to go banana hammock. They're less likely to break into your house. They're less likely to hurt themselves or other people because they've reached a state of normality. They've learned how to function under the influence of the illusion. That's the trippy part. That's the trippy part. But we've all been told that if you can't feel your pain, then you must be better. It's not true. If you're not paying attention to what needs your attention, then it must not need your attention. Not true. It's like ignoring your child. Dude, you're responsible. You ignore your child long enough, it dies. That's your mental health is the same thing. It needs your attention. The only thing it needs is your attention. And we're letting it rot in the corner. Heavy Soul Queen, what's up? We're letting it literally die in the corner. And then we forget that we left it in the corner. And then we don't care that it's in the corner. That's alcohol, man. That's the crazy part about this shit, man. It's so crazy. Because from a healthy place, we would give that child, your mental health, attention. We would realize that it's literally reaching out, that it needs a hug, that it needs support, that it needs water, that it needs food, that it needs love, that it needs to feel connection. Even the basic necessities of life feels impossible with low mental health, man. With low mental health, dude, it's just like, fuck. And then we lose our ability to take care of that child. We lose our ability to take care of the thing that needs us the most. 9 years, July 2nd. That's amazing. It'll be 5 years, July 11th for me. Fuck yeah, dude. 633 days sober. Goodness gracious. That's a lot of sober dollars. I know you can read my questions. Maybe you know, but you can't answer it. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I'm going to say this one more time. I haven't read a single thing. So I'm going to put this into absolute perspective. You've got my attention twice by complaining. So I'm going to tell you this. You have one more. If I don't read your next message, I'm going to tell you where to put it. It's not where you think. You're going to go to the link in my bio if you're truly serious, and you're going to leave me a message. There's a box there. It says, how can I support you? I want you to leave your information, drop that message, so I can respond to you accordingly. But if you're going to get upset and complain and reflect on the fact that I'm giving you attention in areas that you're not ready for, then there's nothing I could do for you anyway. I'm not going to solve your problem. I'm not going to be able to create a solution for you here on TikTok. If it's that dire, you have two solutions. Call 911 or leave me a message. One of us will get back to you accordingly. But desperate thoughts get desperate results. This is a result of your desperation. Thinking that you could force an answer out of somebody. That's more than enough that I need to know of what you're struggling with, where you are. I know for a fact that no matter what I say to you, you're not in a place of reception because you're trying to force my attention in areas that's not naturally in flow with the message that I'm dropping. You have my attention now. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to spit something that better bring up a whole new conversation, or your next action is to leave it in the message, leave it in the box, either down here or on my site with the link in my bio. With that said, Kohdi, what's up, dude? It's so good to see you. He does actually answer your questions in personalized videos. Says, what's up with your name? Ah, shit. I do that, man. Here's what I do is I grab, okay, I'm sorry, maybe my question doesn't get through. I don't know, bro. Like, that's the third time. So I got that one. I got the last 3 times you said something. Everything after that, I don't know. Also, speaking in all capitals, it only goes so far. So can we talk about cravings? Yeah, 100%. So cravings real quick. Speaking of cravings, this is a perfect time. Annan, thanks so much. So I want you to think about this. Do you think, listen to this. This is really important because this is craving. Why did I reach for this? Why did I reach for my water? Is it because I'm thirsty? Do you think I reach for my water because I'm thirsty? Or do you think I've been rubbing my tongue against my molars and my tongue's getting raw? Which one? Or do you think I was just craving water? Like really think about this. At what point, do you think I'm thirsty and I'm craving it? Why did I reach for this? Is it because you said cravings? Maybe it was, right? Because we need to. Does it ever scare you that you have so many people look to you to stay sober? No. People are sober with or without me. This is why people, I have a shirt that says WWKD. What would Kohdi do? Thirsty. Your brain wants the water. Okay, I love this. It's not his job. Now, everyone's sober on their own accord. Everyone's expanding on their own accord. This is why when I show up, the way I deliver things, the way I say things, like I own a brand called Drink Water. When you go through the masterclass with me, I'm literally going, hey, dude, drink water. Good point, dude, drink water. Drink water. Through the whole program, I'm literally helping you train your mind and body to expect water, to celebrate with water, all of those things. So when people are out at a bar or they're camping or whatever, they think about these things and then they hear me say, dude, drink water. They literally hear me say this. The thought arises that the answer is to drink water. And that's just a reflection of their health. So I want to go back to cravings in this water. So this water here, yeah, I'm thirsty. I didn't realize I was thirsty until I recognized that my tongue is getting a little raw. I've been chatting for like 2 hours, right? So my tongue is rubbing against my teeth. Whether I'm aware of it or not, my mind knows the answer. My subconscious, I've trained it to go, when you start to feel that, that means you've been talking for so long that your mouth is getting dry. We need to lube up. So the thing with this is my body was automatically reaching for this when you said craving. I was like, oh shit, that's right. I need to drink water. Not only has it been a little while since I had my last sip, my mouth is getting dry and I'm a little dehydrated. So I want you to really think about this. Just because you're thinking about alcohol doesn't mean you want it. Just because I'm thinking about water doesn't mean I'm thirsty. An answer but a voice to lead. 100%. Thank you. Just because you're thinking about your ex doesn't mean you want them back. Most of the time, when we're thinking about something that's familiar to us, it's just a habit. This is called habitual thinking. It's my favorite ex-alcoholic. What's up, girl? It's just programming. Our mind is designed habitually. This is why subconsciously I may have been thinking about water for a little while, but until you said cravings, I didn't link the thought with the action. Oh, that's a good point. So when we look at these things and go like, I'm craving alcohol, you're thirsty to start with. How do you know you're not thirsty if you've never served your craving with water? How do you know you're not thirsty if you haven't served that craving with water? That craving may go away. Maybe you just need juice. Maybe there isn't enough sugar in your system because you're not drinking so much. My brother passed away a week ago for liver failure. I wish he'd watched the videos. Dude, I keep in mind, dude, like, I appreciate that. Remember this, dude. Most people don't survive what I survived. I'm an anomaly. It very rarely happens. And I have so much love for you, dude. Like, so much love for him, too. I know what he struggled with. And here's something before I continue on. I want you to know this, dude. I died from cardiac arrest while surviving what took your brother out. He wasn't allowed to pass until he reached an extreme state of peace. There's no words to paint the amount of peace that he felt. I've been given the gift of that peace and the opportunity to share it with you. It's very rare that this happens, which is why it's so important that I continue to show up. Where I'm going with this is he was not allowed universally, energetically, spiritually to pass without reaching the most profound state of peace you could ever possibly imagine. He died of cardiac arrest. I did too. I was in an experimental research facility. I died after surgery. That's how I ended up in ICU, is I went into cardiac arrest while my liver was failing after they sewed up the veins in my throat. ICU, that's when it's the most traumatic. Remember when I said it's rare that people die from the actual alcohol, they die from organ failure? This is what I'm talking about, right? Parents stood over me. Damn. Would love one-on-one with you. Advice and opinions are needed, please. Myself. Hey, link in bio. Connect with me, leave me a message. I'm telling you this. When I was in ICU and I passed on and then came back, this is going to sound like super fucked up. I'm a little jealous. Because there is no amount of peace. Like I meditated today, and that's as close to the peace that I felt when I was on the other side, when I died. It was that peace that he's experiencing as an energetic force right now. He is everything now. Everything. It's that peace that I attempt to create for myself daily. And I attempt to share with everyone here every day, as often as possible. I had to literally die to find a reason to live. This is why life is an art form. You are life. This is why it's really hard for me to feel bad. I understand your loss. I understand your loss 100%. And as a matter of fact, I tortured other people. I traumatized nurses and doctors, my family, my former family. I'm broken. You're not broken. You're healing. The last thing he wants you to do is fucking follow in his footsteps. That's the last thing. Why you think you're here? Because of all the people that know how, that know what he went through, you're speaking to him right now. And I'm telling you this shit. I'm telling you what he wishes you would know. He would come back and say the same shit. The same shit. If he came back, he'd be like, dude, I literally... any person that drinks is seeking peace. Any person that's on a substance is seeking peace. That's all we want. We want peace. We don't want the chaos. We don't want the violence. We don't want the drama. We don't want the cortisol. We don't want the turmoil. We don't want any of that shit. Who wants that shit? Unhealthy people want that shit. And then we lower our mental health with the poison in attempt to escape the chaos, seeking peace, thinking that peace is at the bottom of the bottle, thinking that peace is within the blackout. A blackout is as close to death as you're going to get. That's the closest familiarity I could possibly conjure. That hurts in a really nice way. I always just want a peace. All we want is peace, man. Like, think about this. That once again, if you felt peace every time you looked in the mirror, you would not drink the way you do. If every time you went on social media, it was fucking just all of your favorite things, you wouldn't find a reason to escape your own thoughts. You would not drink the way you do. You wouldn't say a majority of the negative things that you say. You wouldn't think a majority of the negative thoughts that you think. You wouldn't do a majority of the toxic things that are so familiar to you. You wouldn't punish yourself into oblivion, hoping that maybe if you reach an extensive amount of pain, there'll be some pleasure. We're all attempting to find the peace. Yet we are never taught that we are the peace. We are the reason peace exists. And you don't have to disappear to reach a state of peace. This is the misconception with transitioning, with death in general. Thinking that peace is the absence of life. Peace is the mastery of self. Peace is your ability to process and handle the chaos. He would mention he wanted to go home when he was at the hospital. That's what he mean? Home or heaven? I'm telling you this, man. I've said this before. Home is a state of being. Home is not a place. Home is a feeling. Namaste. Home is a feeling. Same with success. So is happiness. So when he says he wants to go home, he meant he wants to be at peace. Home, at that standpoint, when he's in extreme pain or when his body's giving out, remember this, his mind knows what's happening. The mind will always sacrifice the body before it sacrifices itself. What that means is you may go through pain. You may go through turmoil. Your vehicle may crumble. I am spiritual. The reality with this is peace to me is home. But I am peace. So when I say I'm home, that means I am me. It means I feel connected with my being. I feel solid. I feel solidified in my state of being. I love who I am, what I'm doing, and where I'm going. I'm at home. Who you share your home with is so very important. That he was done here. 100%. Absolutely. 100%. I was done here too. We're all done here. We're done here. What that means, listen to what I'm saying. When we say these things, we're done here. What that means is he reached a state of learning and receiving everything that he was going to get from his life experience. Remember, he didn't have a life. He is life. You don't have a life. You don't own it. You don't even own, I don't even own these hats. I'm borrowing these things. You don't even own the money. It's your turn to spend it. You don't own your life. It's not yours. You are life in this body. So when he says, I'm done here, what he's saying is, I've learned everything I've needed to learn. I've experienced everything I've needed to experience. It was only at that state of acceptance, which is module 1 of the Beyond Sober program. Remember, Beyond Sober is designed from the place of death that I reached. Everything that I talk about is from this space of dying and then learning to live. When he says, I'm done here, it means he's experienced everything he needed to experience. He cannot pass on until he's learned everything he was supposed to, until he's experienced everything he was supposed to. He's not taking his anxiety. He's not taking his worries. He's not taking his memories to the other side. He's taking his experiences. We're all here to learn. We're all growing in one way or another. If someone has exited this universe, it's because they've won. They did it. It's a beautiful thing, man. He would call me that I'm his baby sister. Dude, that's amazing. So that's the whole trip with this. This is why it's so important to me personally that I encourage people to unlock their capabilities, your capabilities. I'm no different. We're human. I've just experienced things in a different way, and my experience has put me in a position to be able to share myself in such a unique way that you are able to energetically align with who I am and trust in yourself. This is why people, they go like, dude, I haven't drank in 6 months because just your TikToks. Goodness gracious. I operate within a state of purpose. So it's so important that we understand that this is full circle back to everything. Everything is for us. I'm so in within myself. I love this, Kohdi. Everything is for us. Nothing is happening to you. It's happening for you, including alcohol. We may feel enslaved and embodied with the toxicity, but you're no more fragile than anybody else. You're just as strong as everyone else. You just haven't found reasons why that's true. I find reasons. I'm not strong because I have muscle. I could lift what I could lift. That doesn't mean I'm strong. I could feel it. If I can't lift anything because I feel weak, am I strong? It's all perception. But the reality with all these things is we don't need to punish ourselves for not being able to pleasure ourselves. You see what I'm saying? Just because it's difficult to create joy doesn't mean we deserve pain. Just because it's difficult to get happy doesn't mean we deserve misery. Happiness is difficult to reach. So is sober. But once you get there, it's easy to stay there. True happiness in true direction, which is any direction in the opposite of where you don't want to be, is the right direction. It's just like being rich. It's difficult to get rich. It's easy to stay there. Once you give yourself permission to live happy, be happy, do happy, you start to find purpose because you start to realize that you are your purpose. And everything that you ever drank for was worth it. Because you've reached this, not state of sobriety, state of acceptance, state of understanding, state of progression, state of expansion, state of glow, state of purple, whatever it is. You live with intent. You operate from a state of purpose. You know that everything you're doing is in alignment with who you actually are. I want you to remember this. Even at your worst right now, younger you would be excited to be this version of you. You've got the experience. You now know more of what doesn't work for you than that version of you ever did. Now you're you, plus that experience and the progress. Now we can move forward with everything that we know. That's why you're never failing. You're always learning. How do I know this? You're still here. Thank you, Stanwood. Hey, with that said, the roof of my mouth is getting banana sandwiches. I love you guys so much. Honestly, I was just going to go live for like 30 minutes. And then I'm like, damn, 2.5 hours later? Goodness gracious. I love being in flow. First off, thank you so much for hanging out with me. You could be anywhere in the world on a Saturday night. What are you doing, adult stuff? Are you taking care of you? Is that what's happening, right? Are you going to let someone come in and be like, hey, you need to stop being happy. You need to stop taking care of you. No, you need to go, nope. You've got your boundaries. You know what you want. You know who you are. You know who you don't want to be. You know what you're working towards. You know exactly what doesn't work for you. All of that information is data for us to guide our next actions. With that said, dude, I wouldn't be me if you weren't you. Listen to what I'm saying. I wouldn't be me if you weren't you. You have to be exactly who you are right now to perceive me the way that I'm presenting myself. Make sense? You have to be this version of you, which is the best version of you, for me to be perceived as the best version of myself. We are reflections of each other. I am you. You are me. I see you because you see me. We give ourselves the space, the understanding, the energy, the investment, the time, and the fucking space to grow, to learn, to expand, and to be creative, man. Your way is the right way. I just happen to have some tools that you could utilize in your own way. I want you to do it better than me. That's the thing. I want you to do it better than me. Take what I have, expand upon it, share it with everybody. The best way to share it with everybody is to share yourself with the world. You think you're not enough? You're far more than enough. You just haven't found reasons why that's true. And if you have, there's even more reasons you haven't uncovered yet. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I sincerely appreciate you. Who would I be without you? You're so amazing. Thank you for supporting my content. Thank you for taking care of yourselves. Thank you for taking care of each other. Thank you for sharing the message. Thank you for embodying my concepts. Not even mine. They're just concepts. Thank you for opening your mind and allowing this information to positively affect you. If I said something you didn't like, perfect. If I said something that resonated with you, even better. With that said, the only thing that I could ever possibly ask from you is to continue growing. You don't have to depend on anyone but yourselves. If you would like to connect with me, if there's a specific message that I could answer for you, if you'd like a video reply from me, click the link in my bio. Drop your information. You can send me a message, or you can just drop your information and I'll send over all my resources, discounts and opportunities, single shop method, Beyond Sober Masterclass, the 2.0, the organizations, all kinds of fun stuff. Other than that, you guys can see me on TikTok. Maybe I'll go live tomorrow. Is it Saturday? Sunday? Who knows? With that said, thank you. I sincerely appreciate you. Just like my mother always says, take care of you